Three straight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not just three straight, but three convincing wins. Pittsburgh on Saturday, 7-2. A big win against the Florida Panthers on Tuesday night there, and then rolling that one over to a massive victory against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes here tonight, a 5-1 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And honestly, we talked about it the other day on Tuesday and said, you know what, that's probably the best game that this team has played. I know during that show there was some disagreement back and forth about whether or not it was the best game, and I argued it actually was. I know JD was kind of on the other side there, and I understood why, just saying, hey, you know what, look who they played, look at the situation that you were in, look how many guys were missing from the Florida Panthers. You look at this game here tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs, you look at who they played against, where they were in this road trip, where they had gotten to in terms of guys being out, starting to get guys back into the lineup, starting to kind of play the right way, starting to get a third line rolling, getting buy-in from your fourth line, getting depth scoring, your defense figuring things out. We'll talk about the Joseph Woll situation, but just top to bottom, you start to go into this one, okay, looking a little bit better. 43 seconds in, all of a sudden you open up the scoring. Where's it going to go from here? From the opening shift to the final buzzer, this to me was the best game the Toronto Maple Leafs have played this season. A great win for this team, a great win for this group. I thought there was a lot to build off of. I have one negative, which we'll get into later in the show, and it's a similar one to what we've done before, but it's one negative as we get into the show. That's it for tonight's game, really. A lot of positives. Obviously, a negative, but it's not a negative about how they played, is the Joseph Woll situation. But just, this is an amazing game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I thought everybody showed up. I thought everybody was committed. I thought everybody was bought in. Like, there was a lot to build off of for this group tonight. Now, before we go further in the show and we get to all this tire pumping and we get to everybody singing Kumbaya and holding hands and being happy and all being all fired up, which I am fired up after this win, but before we can go too far down that path, I want to make it very clear and very transparent that I am not sold yet. And it's not because I don't like what they did. It's not like because I don't like what they've done the last 2 games, the last 3 games. It's just because it's just that. We look at the wins that they've had this season. I could basically tell you that the last 3 games, outside of really the game against Utah far earlier on in the season now at this point, a long time ago, those were the games you looked at and said those are the closest to you being the team that you want to be. This game, I think, was an exceptional game all the way through, but, you know, it's really only been 4 games of that. Even the Columbus win a couple of games ago when you kind of started this road trip, I still don't think was the most amazing game of all time. But, again, like, to me, the only thing why I have some type of hesitancy moving forward, and I'm not trying to be negative about this, there's a lot of positive, a lot to be happy about here tonight. Again, just to make it clear, it's just before we go on in the show and people start complaining that we go one way to the other, I'm just saying I'm really happy with this win. I'm really happy with what we saw here tonight, but I got to see more of a body of work before I can fully say, yep, this is it. They're back. I can buy into this team. It's just show me for longer. That's it. I'm not going to start in and say, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I love this team and the way they're constructed and the way they're built, and that's it. They're winning the Stanley Cup. There's stuff to work on here, and I want to see some consistency. I want to see it strung together for more than just 3 games. Even if you lose a couple of the next ones, how do you play in those losses? That will be a very telling, but there's stuff that they can still build upon, and I just want to make sure it's clear here tonight, because tonight's going to be a much more positive show, whether it's myself, the chat, those who call in here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of positivity, and I just want to make it clear from the beginning. Yeah, it's a positive show. It's a great night to be a Leafs fan, to watch that win, to come off this road trip with 3 straight wins. All of that stuff is very positive, but I still personally want to see more from this team as they continue on and come home from this road trip starting on Saturday night against the Montreal Canadiens. We do have a very special guest joining us here tonight. Jay Rosehill will be hopping on in 1 second. Before I get to Jay, just a quick note to people in the chat. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. We have the Leafs Nation After Dark show with myself, members of the Leafs Morning Take crew, Rosie, Alberga popping by here every now and then to help break down the games post-game, as well as you could find those two Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time right here on this channel, breaking everything down. Pre-game videos, breaking news, all that kind of stuff. It's happening here on the channel. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, but I don't want to make him wait any further, and I know you guys in the chat don't want to wait anymore. So let's welcome here to the post-game for game number 27 in the Maple Leafs regular season, Jay Rosehill. Rosie, how you feeling after this big victory against the Hurricanes tonight?
Oh, they're the greatest team ever assembled. Are you getting heat for flip-flopping or what?
Yeah, I started off positive and people were like, oh, look at this guy. He said the season was over. Now we're back. Yes, I'm pumped up about the win, but still holding on.
Yeah, dude, it was, this morning in our show, I was like, it's kind of undercover a huge test. And their 2-game winning streak and they're playing better. But again, like everyone's saying, like, oh, you're going to have to show me a little more. Going to have to show me a little more is kind of the sentiment, which I agree with. But against the Canes, and they've been, playing really good hockey, having a lot of success. If they won tonight, they're first in their division and possibly East, whatever. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
And they just kind of manhandled them, man. Like start to finish, top to bottom, just a good hockey game, a good 60 minutes, a full team game, lots of positives. It's like, wow, that's what we're looking for. And I think now people will start to be like, all right, if you want to start to play like that, maybe we can salvage this season. But I can't help but just be crushed by seeing Joseph Woll leave the crease, to be honest.
Yeah, let's start there because I feel like there are a lot of positives about this game, and I kind of want to go through a bunch of them with you. But as you just brought up, Joseph Woll leaves. The tinfoil hat moment for me tonight, Rosie, was the team's up big. I think it was 4-1 after 2 there. So you're going into the third. You've just come off this road trip here. It's the last game of the road trip. Joseph Woll has been out of his mind fucking amazing this road trip. And since his return, effectively, I was thinking right away, I'm like, maybe, just maybe, they've told him, sit out the third. We're going to wrap this thing up. Let's get you some rest and play on Saturday. And then they show the video of him laboring a little bit towards the end of the second period. That theory kind of went out the window. But in terms of concern and just kind of interest in your gauge on this, because, you never know shit with this team, quite frankly. I mean, you never know. So I'm just going to ask you, and I'm not asking you to be a doctor, but just your pulse on this and your immediate vibe check. How did you feel watching that go down and just the way he left, what you saw out of him? You kind of have any positivity this could be a short-term thing? Do you maybe buy into the tinfoil hat theory I threw out there? You lost audio, Rosie. I think you're on mute, Rosie. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, my kid came home, my dog started barking, so I put it on. Shit. No, Woll, yeah, I was trying to spin it too in a way where it was like maybe he's like, I'll take the third off and I can play Saturday. Like that even fucking happens.
I was praying, man. I'm praying.
I know, but let's get serious. What did they have? They had a 3-goal lead going into the third?
Yeah, 4-1 going into the third.
Pretty healthy, but I mean, they had a 2-goal lead on Carolina last time they played, and they blew that right out their ass, didn't they? It's way too important of a game. The points are too important. It's not fair to throw Hildeby in there because it's I don't know. That left my mind quickly, but knowing Woll, and it's not like he's an Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he's missed a lot of time due to injuries. And a groin is gross. It is not going to feel better in 3 or 4 or 5 days. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sickened by this, and I'm trying not to put the cart before the horse or jump the gun, but like, of course, when this team just goes 5-1 against the Canes, when, now they're on they finished that road trip like on a heater now, is like, or is that what they're on? It's they're doing everything they couldn't do throughout that shit stain of a first couple of months that was the season so far. And right when you have some belief that they're gonna, maybe put something together and leave all that behind them, their season is teetering on Hildeby and Atimakamamamakov. Like, it's not a good situation for him, man. I can't believe it. Like, of course, right when they go, but I don't know. On the other hand, maybe they can play good enough in front of him. Maybe Hildeby will play like a beast and emerge as the franchise goaltender. Dude, I don't know, but it sucks that they have no goalies right now. And Stolarz is irrelevant. He hasn't even skated. Like, the season could be over before he even gets healthy if it doesn't go well for Hildeby and Tonkamerov. So I'll get it down before this weekend.
You'll get it. I'm with you on the Woll thing, and history says that this is not a situation where it'll be in a very quick recovery, even if it wasn't Joseph Woll, growing lower body for a goaltender and a guy who plays the way that Woll does, very flexible, very agile in the net. Not the greatest sign, but I mean, positive side, let's flip this. Amazing first 40 by Joseph Woll before he left the game, so he was awesome then. And then the Hildebeest, I mean, we're looking towards a Saturday night game where it's now very, very, very likely that Hildeby is going to be the guy who starts. He's played amazing over the last stretch. Saturday night against Pittsburgh, he was awesome. The third period here tonight, it's not like he just had the easiest workload of all time, faced a couple odd man opportunities, faced a late push by Carolina, and he looked strong in there. So, you know what? Positives. Fuck it. Flip this thing on its head. Positives from tonight. Woll leaves, but next man up. Next man up, Rosie. Ekman-Larsson, which you'll get down by the weekend. He'll be backing up, and we'll be looking at the future goalie tandem of the Toronto Maple Leafs in there going, holy fuck, what a couple of years to come.
Well, I hope so, man. It's just like, with them needing to do what they need to do to get back into a playoff spot now, as like Christmas is coming down the barrel, it's just a nightmare scenario for them. But again, on the positive, on the other side, they're playing their best hockey of the year by leaps and bounds. Like you said, Hildeby hasn't had a blemish yet. So hell yeah, I mean, that's the positive train. That's all you can hope for. There's no other options. Like, he's got to play good. I just wonder, me and Nick were talking this morning about like who's going to play tonight and who's going to play Saturday at home against Montreal. And Nick kind of came up with, it's a divisional game. I mean, that's the kicker, right, with Montreal. And I thought they'd play Woll tonight, and maybe he'll be back in at home. But then he brought up that divisional point, and I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. They went against it, announced it while we were on the air, and I wonder if they're just regretting the hell out of that. It's just crazy though. Like, if you play a goalie now 3 times in 6 days, it's just like fucking clockwork. They just punch out and they're like, are you kidding me? You broke me. I'm broken now. Like, what did you? It's just like a guarantee they can't do it. And I get the position's hard, and you're moving an acrobat and you're flying around and it moves so fast. It's harder than it used to be. Fine. But like, everyone's worried about riding Woll a little bit too hard. And then they go one more game and he fucking leaves the game with his groin limping and fuck. Like, come on. Why can't we just get things going here? It's so frustrating. But again, I'm probably jumping the gun on this. Maybe he's not bad and it was totally precautionary. I mean, I guess we could hear that here in the next day or two, but I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not either. Moving off the goalie stuff there, because I feel like there's a lot that we could dig into that would just be kind of hoping and praying in terms of what goes on going forward. But stuff that we did see that was positive here tonight. I want to kind of isolate a couple of players I liked in this game. But before I get there, I want to just get your thoughts in general, fundamentally, the way this team played. I mean, We know going into this, Carolina is a tight checking team. They're a hard team to play against. They're a team you have to work your bag off against. They're a team that you can't just let walk all over you, because whether you make it easy or not, they're going to shoot the puck a million times. They're going to get 32 shots on goal like they did tonight. Like, that stuff's going to happen just based on the way that they play. The Maple Leafs, I thought, did an amazing job here tonight, limiting some of those high-danger chances. I mean, you look at some of the best chances Carolina had. It came on the fucking Leafs power play, which is a whole other issue. But outside of that, 5-on-5 play, I thought the Leafs really tightened things up. I thought the penalty kill looked a lot better. They seemed to take away those big, rangy, cross-ice passes that lead to just really good prime backdoor chances. Like, there's some, but Hildeby seemed to square up well enough. The Leafs kind of didn't make it easy to get through some of those lanes. Like, I thought fundamentally here tonight, the Leafs played a much cleaner, much smarter, much simpler game. Did you see the same from them?
Yeah, like, name me a defenseman who you thought was struggling tonight. I don't know of any.
Yeah,
Morgan
no.
Riley wasn't there.
He
There
made
was
a couple
nothing.
of whack plays, but like outside of that, it wasn't what the hell are you doing kind of game.
Very minor, very minor. And the team looks way more connected. They look tighter. Like you said, penalty kill and just 5-on-5, just not that big gross chance, those big ugly missed assignments. Like we've watched them play like dog shit for a lot of games this year. And that was kind of the opposite of it. They always look disconnected. Nobody's on the same page. They can't find each other. One guy will put in an effort and it's all by himself and it's all for nothing because there's three guys that are just like, I'll take that. They just weren't on the same page. They're on different planets. And then tonight they totally hook up and they're playing together. And, you know, I didn't even think it was a particularly good night for William Nylander, for John Tavares, or for Auston Matthews, aside from scoring. And they still played a really, really well-rounded game. I mean, that's what this market's been begging for, is can you get a bunch of lines that you can roll wave on wave, where we're not such a fragile team, where we don't go into a game 5, 6, or 7 and just fucking get crushed like a rickety old lawn chair, like just in shambles. You can be strong and solid and deep, and that's what that team looked like tonight. And you want to have a night where JT pops off or Willie pops off or Austin's at the best of his abilities, then it's just like, now this team again is, you could call a contender, and people are going to laugh at that and say we're flip-flopping, but that's how drastically different the hockey looks from the dog shit we've watched through a lot of October and November to what the last 3 games are, specifically that one. Like, it was just tight. There was hardly anything against. Yeah, you got some goaltending. You got different guys chipping in. It just, like, impressed with it, and come with a 5-1 win against the Hurricane tonight. Like, if you don't think that they're playing different hockey, then I don't think you're watching.
Yeah, and one more thing for me, like on a general standpoint, before we narrow down, like, even just how they played is one thing, and structurally, systematically is one thing, right? Like, it looked a lot cleaner, it looked a lot tighter, but you know, Rosie, I think the one thing you and I have been asking for, and we've complained about this, it's been well documented even years back when I started this show and came on here and you and I got to do the post game together. Well, the one thing has been like the effort. And, you know, the second chance opportunity, whether it's for the other team and how you defend it, and do you try to take that away, or if it's a second chance opportunity for yourself. And a lot of times you see like that opportunity come up, or the back check need to be, you know, real tight, and guys getting back hard because an odd man rush is taking place, and you all of a sudden you watch the most incriminating camera of all time, where it does the one up behind the net, and you watch the guys from behind, and there's like 3 guys straight legging it with their sticks in the air like this, and you and I come on here and lose our fucking minds. That didn't seem to be the case tonight. Like, how many times are you watching Scott Laughton bust his bag to break up a play and break up a pass, or stop a guy who stops up at the blue line where he's not expecting back pressure? Even on the play where Seth Jarvis scored, like, Easton Cowan missed twice. He missed at the blue line to lead the other way, and then he missed back coming the other way. And sure, that's a teaching moment, but he's hustling his dick off to get back into the play. He just missed the puck, but he's working his ass off to get back there. And Matthew Knies driving up the ice. It's hustle. It's hard work. And yeah, it's a little bit of a Neanderthal way of thinking where it's like, ooh, work hard, big man, work hard. But it's like, how often can we say that goal for that team wouldn't have happened if the Leafs worked hard? That goal would have happened for the Leafs if they worked hard. That game tonight against Carolina, a team that fucking works hard, you worked hard. And you got that win because you deserved to win here tonight. They didn't luck that win out. That was a hard-working win, and that was just every guy on this team buying into that. Even though you're saying, hey, some of the guys didn't look that great, I still thought it was just a hard-working game from those guys involved.
And that's the thing. You don't want to build a team where if Willie Nylander doesn't have 2-1, you don't have a chance to win the game. It's not sustainable. We've been down that road a million times. You call it a core four, and you build it really heavy and pay these guys all $10 million, and you have fuck all for anything else to play, and you just hope you win, 7-6. Like, it wasn't working. And now, like, here's a great example of a team. If it works the way it's supposed to, and like we hoped, you don't need that out of those guys. You're going to get it sometimes, but if they're not hot, you still have a core and a balanced team that's deep. And yeah, in order to have one of those teams, you have to have that work ethic. You have to play it intense. You have to, have those second efforts and go the extra mile. And when we're hard on them and people are like, are you guys kidding me? You just want them to work. Like, it's not hard to tell when a guy's not working. Like, it's not magic or super science. You look at a guy and you're like, you could have gone way fucking harder than that. Like, you were going at 80% into the corner to get that puck. Like, what are you doing? Like, go 100%. Skate as hard as you fucking can and see what you can come up with. And that's turning pucks over, getting puck possession. It's not just a Neanderthal. It's fun to be run around. Like, it's got nothing to do with that. It's taking away time and space and getting to the puck first, which is, throughout a hockey game, there's like 400 mini little 50-50 puck battles or loose pucks. And how many of those can you get is going to dictate how the game goes. And on top of that, like you said, like the pace is just driven up. You work your ass off and you're flying and you're going hard and it's contagious and it rubs off on everyone else and it dictates kind of the pace of the play that night. And if that just becomes commonplace, it starts to grind into becoming your identity. And like, I'm all for them having that identity. That's what we were begging for in the summer. That's when we had Mitch Marner leave. We said, okay, well, now is the time to retool and try to fix some of the things that we feel like we've come up short with, where you're sitting there watching Stanley Cup winning teams have all those things. They go out and get Woll and Joshua, and it didn't work at the beginning of the year. They were just inexplicably terrible. And maybe they have started to figure things out a little bit. It's not one game. It's not 2 games. It's 3 games. Okay, yeah, I also would like to see 4 games. I would love nothing more than a monstrous win at home, getting off the road trip against the Montreal Canadiens. That would be phenomenal. Like, everyone's line on where they're willing to say, holy fuck, these guys are starting to play better is different. I don't really give a shit where yours is. Mine is starting to go, this is what it looks like, boys. Like, no D-man stood out as being anything but solid tonight. You didn't win on the back of Willie or Auston or something where it's like, yeah, but you can't expect them to do that every night. There's no caveat to this win. Yeah. And again, that's more of the reason on why I'm just like, I can't sit and go hit the hot tub and be pumped about that because Joseph Woll went down. I'm waiting to see if this season is again hanging in the fucking balance.
Yeah, and I know, and I mean, to your point too, it's like this is just kind of what you want from it. It's the big boys score. Matthews, Knies, they're on the board. Domi's making plays, and then you look down, it's Bobby McMahon, 2 goals here tonight. Scott Laughton, a goal. Defensively playing better. Penalty kill looks good. Goaltending looks good. Like, you're starting to check a lot of boxes where you're not walking away from a win like this and being like, ooh, well, thank God for Matthews and Tavares tonight because they really held us over. Like, no, that's not the case. That's not why you won tonight. They contributed, but it's not why you won. I want to narrow down focus a little bit here, Rosie. I won't keep you forever on the post game tonight, but I want to get a couple of thoughts from you. So first, I want to go to the third line. Open the scoring here, 43 seconds in with the goal from Bobby McMahon. It's a play, drive down the wall from Nick Watt, dishes one in. Bobby McMahon lets it fly, gets a little lucky. I mean, it hits the post, it goes in off of Freddie Anderson's ass. Where have we seen that before? Maybe Game 7 playoffs, Boston. I don't know, feels familiar. But anyways, Freddie lets that one by him, and then it doesn't stop there. You watch how many shifts, which I think this is where it gets lost a little bit, like what impact the third line can have, at least in my opinion, what I expect. Like, they play hard. They force the other team to make mistakes. They can get down and possess the puck in the offensive zone, maybe generate a cycle, wear down the other team in their own zone, and then it allows for the Matthews line to come over the boards. It allows for the JT line to come over the boards, and then they can capitalize and take advantage of tired groups that are ready to make mistakes, a group that's just iced the puck, and they're coming out fresh. Like, that's where they can start to impact a game, is wearing teams down, even if it's not just for the scoring. But that third line has seemed to find something here, and you're the one who said in the summer, which I remember, and I saw the clip get posted the other day, that you envisioned a line of Dakota Joshua, Nick Waugh, and Bobby McMahon. It took a long time to get there, Rosie, but it finally happened, and now 3 consecutive games, that third line has been not just involved in the game, but very impactful. Like, is this what you envisioned from that third line and this bottom 6 when we were in the summer talking about them getting bigger, heavier, and being more of a checking group? Is this what you saw?
Yes, that was that's how I was going to respond right away. This is what it was supposed to be. This is what they wanted. This is why they got those specific guys, not including Michelli. And it's crazy with the jumbling of the lines that they did, in fact, do throughout the beginning of the season, that we didn't see this combination, because it just seems to make sense, right? You've got some responsibility and experience there. You've got some heaviness and what should be a guy that's mucking and moving his feet and running and forechecking, and you've got some speed, and you've got a wicked shot on that line, and all 3 of them could and should be mucking and working and dumping and chasing and hitting and working some more and digging it off a wall, and second man goes flying in there and overwhelming. And this is what this looks like. And is this going to last longer? I mean, remember last year, I think it was like a Domi Robertson combination or something, where the third line's just hot as piss and everyone's like, oh my God. And then 3 games and then it just went away forever and they blew the lineup. And I'm not saying that's impossible to happen, but this is what they wanted it to be. When he said we want to play with more snot and we want to create an identity and we want to, like, that's what it looks like out there. How nice was it watching today, knowing that we have no holes in the game? Like, a guy can have a game where that doesn't quite have it, and maybe he'll get demoted down to the 4th line and only play 10 or 11 minutes that night. But then you can have a Scotty Laughton come up and play a little bit on the 3rd line or the 2nd line or whatever the situation is. Bottom line is you're deep and you can just kind of have everyone going. And if not, you can mix and match a little bit because you've got so many capable bodies on the roster, specifically the forwards. And again, you watch teams win the cup and they have that formula. And, a third line will come up big and score a big goal to tie it late in a game 4 or something that might not be the talk of the series afterwards. But you look back and you're like, holy fuck, like without that. And that's what these guys could be. And that's what we want them to be. And here's a sign of them being that. But it's just nice that for once, after the season and the hockey that we've watched, where you sit back and you watch a game like that and you're like, there it is. That's what Tree Living was trying to build. That's what he wanted to see. Yeah. And it looked like it there. And again, it wasn't on the back of a superstar going haywire where you're kind of like, yeah, well, good thing he did that, because there was, not a lot happening behind him. It wasn't that. And I think that's hugely refreshing and important. And I hope to hell that it continues and something clicks here with this team. And again, not to overuse the buzzword, but maybe they can start to find an identity when they have success doing it.
the thing for me too is like they don't have to score every night, right? Like we talked to you, as you brought up that line that was here last year, that third line, Domi, McMahon, and Robertson, they got hot as fuck for like 6 games, right? They lit the world on fire. As you said, we all kind of sat there and went, holy shit. The problem with that line was when they cooled off offensively, we basically sat here going, now what? Like, what do you do now? What is your identity? What do you bring to the game? This is the kind of line, hopefully it can continue, and obviously it looks even better now because they are scoring, but this is the kind of line that even if they aren't producing offensively every night, which, by the way, people should just temper expectations, like they're a third line. If they scored every fucking night, they probably wouldn't be third line players. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're scoring every night, you're getting paid $13 million because you're fucking Auston Matthews. You're not getting put on third lines like that. Former Auston Matthews. But anyways, the point is, like, what do you do when you don't score every night? This is a line constructed as they are right now, and you could see it on the shifts where they don't score. That's like they can make an impact. They make life hard. They can put pressure on you. They can kind of draw out a shift in a positive way to then set up the next lines that come out, which I think is a great thing to see. The only thing for me with the lines is even if something cools off, I beg Craig Berube, just let it work out for like 1 or 2 games before you just snap hook and fucking pull some guys out of there. You know, like if the second line doesn't score again on Saturday night, just don't smash the panic button, please. Like, give them like one more chance before you go, because the only thing that you end up doing is just shuffling everybody, which is what we've seen before, where it's like, oh no, the second line doesn't work. Like Robertson, you're going to the second line, Cowan's going to the third line, McMahon's going to the fourth line. And then all of a sudden everyone's at a clusterfuck and everything's out to shit. So that's my only request right now. Is like if something cools off, just like see if it can work its way out.
I agree, and to go back to that line, like the goal scoring and the points are a bonus, right? It's a bonus. Yeah. You're happy about it. When those guys aren't on the board, and they're not going to get on the board every single night, nor should they. But you need to not be a minus player. How much ozone time did you have? How many hits did all of you have? And how many times did you cause the other team to turn the puck over? Those are the things that you're going to do that are going to be huge for your team and in keeping momentum and keeping the wave of the game going when you're just rolling lines wave after wave, setting the table for the big dogs to come in behind you, whether it's off the fly of the change or whether you give them an offensive zone face-off. Like those are all the little things that those guys can do. And if they're able and capable to get on the score sheet once in a while, that's just an absolute bonus, right? But with moving the lines and stuff, I don't think he's crazy enough to put them in a blender right now, like if they happen to lose on Saturday. But, one thing is like maybe if Cowan is looking like he's missing a step and getting a little scrambly and they want to just slow it down for him and have him just watch one and just say, hey, I don't want things to get away from you here. And we also need to see if we can get Michelli going. You could do a 1-for-1 deal or some shit like that. Not that I'm a fan of that, but that's something that you could do just to try to move things around. But I think that especially in the bottom 6, like the days of blowing shit up and just having a whole new laughable look at the forward lines is hopefully a thing of the past. If they continue to play half decent hockey, you'd think that those are the building blocks that are now put in place and they're going to try to build off of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I probably go Robertson from fourth line to second line if that's the case, and then give Cowan that opportunity back with Laughton and Lorentz. But like point taken, and completely agree with you there. Nonetheless, just find a way to mix one guy rather than shake the whole thing up. But,
not a Michelli guy, hey?
I'm not a Michelli guy, to be honest with you. I'm just not. I've been holding back pocket. I said, this is a side note, this was one of those pat myself on the back moments, and I'm just waiting just to make sure. But earlier on, I basically declared Michelli dead, and then he scored a goal and an assist against Utah and had the game winner that night or whatever. And then Alberga's boy was like all over me, like tweeting me and stuff, being like, you fucking see that? That's why you don't give up on this guy. Now he's in the press box eating popcorn. I've just been holding on to that one. Anyways, Last thing before
There
I
you
get
go.
you out of
Get it
here.
off.
I want to ask you about one guy, Scott Laughton. When the Leafs acquired this guy last year, this is what you envisioned the guy being here in Toronto, is it not? Like, this is what you expected him to be. This is the player, at least much closer to the version of Scott Laughton that we had seen when he was a Philadelphia Flyer. Like, this, it might have been an expensive price to pay, and I'm fine with that if he's going to play this way, because I think that this version of Scott Laughton is what the Leafs need, and I feel like this is why you go and get a guy like that, no matter how expensive it was. Like, this Scott Laughton right now, Rosie, he looks fucking awesome, and the intensity he brings, the way that he pays attention to details and is committed to the defensive zone and getting pucks out and just making a smart, simple play to help this team. Like, this guy is making such a positive impact on this team. It feels like this is like a vindicating moment for Tree Living and Leafs fans who believed and trusted in that trade for Scott Laughton last year.
Yeah, you are seeing a better example of what he was supposed to be and what he can be. And I knew, being a guy that cares as much as he does, and being a lifelong Leafs fan and getting the chance to come home. And I know his family is all very tight and close, and it would just be like, it would have been so overwhelming for him. And I think he was the first one to admit that he was overthinking things and probably didn't handle it awesome. And I was just like, yeah, but wait till the market kind of sees what he brings to the table. Forget about the fact that it's, Grabankin in a first. Like, it is what it is. You took a stab at filling a hole while you were trying to make a run. It's not cheap, but he's here, and here's what he can do, especially to the bottom six. He's just like the dad or the leader or the captain of the bottom six. You know what I mean? He does things right.
Yeah.
He plays with a level of he plays with like a furrowed brow where he's just like, get the fuck out of my way kind of thing. And he's willing to do whatever's necessary. And I cannot say that about all the guys on this roster. There's certain things that are necessary that some guys doesn't even cross their fucking mind. And it is so frustrating. But here's Scotty Laughton. It wouldn't matter what happened. You could have like a historic gong show night and he'd be right in the mix, like doing whatever was necessary, killing penalties, blocking shots, playing a certain system and committing to it and leading the way with that. There's just a lot of things that he brings to the table. And then when he's hot, he's hot. Like, he can score goals and put up points and make plays and do things as well. So he's one of the pieces 100% that is starting to do what he was supposed to do. And you get games like that when you put it together, man. I've never critiqued Tree Living when everything was going to shit, because you build a team of certain style of hockey players to try to make names on a paper that looks well-rounded. And then from there, it's up to the players and the coaches. And I believe that Tree Living has done that, and you saw it tonight. Like, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's why he built this thing and made the decisions that he did, is because you can take a good team in Carolina and they can just kind of like hold them to nothing and just kind of stun them and like make them frustrated. And then meanwhile, you've got a lot of firepower to bury goals, even if it's not your big dogs. Then you can get it from your depth, and it's just like, fuck, that's what it looks like. I mean, it wasn't the flashiest thing in the world. It wasn't the most exciting, crazy game in the world, but that's what it looks like when you want to build a team that's capable of winning, especially in the playoffs. There are games that look like that where you just don't have any holes.
You're telling me that the puck off the stanchion in the corner onto Scott Laughton's stick in the slot while the goaltender was looking the other way wasn't us? Yeah, exactly. That was insane. Freddie stayed. The craziest part too, like, to back Freddie on that one, because I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. Like, he sees the puck go into the corner, was that he even had the wherewithal to like not leave the net. He posted up, feet tucked on the post. He just looked the other way to see where the puck was, and it's on Laughton's stick in the slot. But hey, regardless, brutal. You got to still put it in the net. So and he did. But I thought he looked good here tonight, and I thought he's built a solid couple of games for himself over the last little while. But Rosie, with that, I will let you go. I appreciate you taking the time to join us here tonight a little more frequently here on the post-game show over the last little while, and it's been nice. We've had some ups, we've had some downs. We had maybe one of the worst shows of all time with the Washington post-game. to a positive one here with the win against the Hurricanes tonight. So thanks for joining
Did I
us,
talk
Rosie.
you off the ledge one day, I think, wasn't it? Or no, I thought were you
Yeah, it
melting
was
down?
early on. It was early on. I was snapping, and you're like, it's okay. And then, but we've kind of gone both ways, Like on Friday, I think you were kind of on the ledge with me, so we were holding hands, saying maybe we should jump together. But we're good. We're good. We're back. We're all leveled out here now.
We'll Thelma and Louise this bitch, man. No, thanks for having me. It's fun. And again, great feelings after that game. I thought it was a big test, and they passed it with flying colors with the caveat of I can't believe we can't have nice things in that now Joseph Woll. I'm just waiting for the news to drop. Nonetheless, we'll wait for that, but enjoy the rest of the show, and thanks for having me, dude.
Wait, I got one more thing for you, by the way, before you click by. I just saw a comment from Vic's brother. We go as far as Bobby Mack takes us.
Okay. We go as far as Artur Atamakana Kokoff takes us this season.
All right, Rosie. Thanks, buddy.
See you,
Get out of here. There you go. Jay Rosehill up and break down game 27 of the Leafs regular season. Still a bunch to get to here on the post-game show tonight. If you're watching and you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube, breaking everything down right here on this channel after every single Leafs game. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it right here on this channel. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. As well, if you're somebody who listens to the podcast, like our guy Wisey, you DM me and said he listened. I can't remember. There's someone else who DM'd me not last weekend just saying, hey, they listened to the podcast. They were wondering when it was up. I was having some troubles getting it up, but to anybody who listens to the podcast, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. But wherever you get your podcasts, Josh was the one who DM'd me. Wherever you get your podcasts, the Leafs Nation After Dark is your podcast on all podcast platforms. So make sure to check us out there if that's your preferred method of listening. But we do have some super chats and some stuff I want to get to. We are way closer. We're way closer to Christmas here now, and as we get closer, it becomes all that much more important to be helping out an amazing cause like this. And our Super Chat charity partner of this season is Sick Kids Charity. If you want to get your question or your comments, your thoughts, your concerns, whatever it is, read here on the show, you want me to answer things, you want me to just read what you have to say, send in your Super Chats. All you have to do to send your Super Chats, and nobody's required to, I still read the chat and go through things anyways, but you want it in and you want to guarantee that I'll read it and I'll talk about it, you can send a Super Chat. You click that little $sign on your chat, whether you're on your computer, if you're on your phone, you select the amount that you want to send, you type your message, you click send, and it'll send off. And proceeds from our Super Chat do go to Sick Kids Charity, #1 children's hospital in Canada, #3 in North America. So keep sending in those Super Chats. I've said it before, I'll say it again, but you guys as a collective between the After Dark and the morning show put together over $4,000 for Sick Kids last season alone. So keep up those donations. You guys are donating to an amazing cause, and it's pretty awesome what you guys are doing. Just sending in thoughts and comments here that just go a long way. We do have people waiting to call in here as well. We will get to those of you who want to call in. I'm going to go through all of you, but before we do, I just want to rattle off a couple of these Super Chats, starting with Maxentius Decimus. Who are they and what did they do with the Toronto Maple Leafs? Max, that's a good question. In many ways, very frustrating. In many ways, very confusing. And in many ways as well, very exciting. The ups and downs of this group are insane. I mean, you have some nights where it's like the greatest thing you've ever seen, like tonight. That's probably the best game we've seen this season. And one of the better process games that we've seen from this team over like the last 2 seasons as well. And then you look back to where they were like a week ago and you're like watching a team that you're basically saying this team might not win fucking 20 games this year. Like the difference in this group is astronomical. I think a lot of it has to do with guys starting to buy in. I think there's an element of guys gaining confidence here as well. And then, I mean, on top of that, there's an element of just working hard. Like, have there been many games so far this season that you could say this team, top to bottom, worked as hard as they did tonight? Like, Auston Matthews is blocking shots off his feet, whether you like that or not, intelligent or not, for your $13 million captain to be blocking shots off his feet. Like, he's buying in. There's other guys on the team who are going to look around and go, oh shit, yeah, we got to be involved. Like, we got to step up. We got to play that, body on the line, put it all out there kind of hockey. And then that gets you closer to not just winning games like tonight, but actually having success if or when you get to the playoffs. Super chat comes in from Vintage Joe Hill. Joe, haven't heard from in a while. I believe he'll be coming up here on a call shortly, but Joe says, another road win, and best of all, it was against the Carolina power play merchants. Nice strong arm goal too. Fun game for once. This is one of those ones that's interesting. I know Joe called them the power play merchants, but like, the Carolina Hurricanes are an analytical darling team. Like, they are the team. It's the Corsi team, it's the expected goals team, it's the chances generated team, and like, all of those numbers matter. And I'm not discounting what analytics mean or their importance to a game or to interpreting things that happen, how they happen, why they happen. Like, analytics matter, but it's kind of funny to watch a game like tonight where it feels like some of those get taken out of proportion. Like, we'll revisit this in a bit, but like, I look at the deserve to win meter and it's like 76% in favor of the Hurricanes. That didn't feel like a Leafs got shit kicked kind of night at all. I mean, the reality is there were a lot of chances for Carolina, but it's like, you look at the deserve to win meter and it says 76.6% for the Hurricanes. And then, you scroll down to the expected goals. And this is where everyone's calculates them differently. Evolving Hockey has the Maple Leafs expected goals for at 4.87. Carolina's at 3.87. And Money Puck has 3.81. And the Leafs at 3.56. Like, it's a disagreement of the chart boys here tonight on this one. And, eye test-wise, I would argue that this was a great game for the Maple Leafs. Yes, they gave up some chances, but I think there's an element of this where it's like understanding who the Hurricanes are and understanding the chances they create for themselves. A lot of it is just like, fuck it, we ball, and you just shoot the puck at will, and some stuff comes from that. Joseph Woll made some great saves. Hildeby made some great saves, but it didn't feel to me like a 76% deserve to win a meter kind of night for the Carolina Hurricanes. Like, eye test wise, I disagree with that. Joe as well says third line is cooking this season. Rosie touched on that. The third line has been amazing. We also have two super chats here from PSF1. PSF1, a Bruins fan, but still nonetheless donating a ton of money here to the postgame show. PSF1 says, nothing has changed. This is bipolar Leaf Nation at its best. At least the kids benefit from my donation. Step up, haters, and donate. Well, thank you for the donation. I would argue that there's a lot that has changed, PSF1. What may ultimately happen if or when they get to the playoffs may not have changed over the last little while, but the way that they have played for sure has, and I think it's undeniable that things have changed. I mean, I know you're a hater. I know you're putting your money where your mouth is, sending a donation like that, and greatly appreciate it, and Sick Kids greatly appreciates it, but the pushback is like, you don't win a game like that tonight against Carolina without something having changed. You don't win a game like that against Florida or Pittsburgh without something having changed. You especially don't win 3 straight like that without something having changed. You got goaltending, that's a positive, but you got it from 2 different guys. Pittsburgh, Hildeby. Tuesday, Woll. Tonight, Woll and Hildeby. Defensively stepping up. Depth-wise stepping up. The big boys still scoring. Like, effort-wise, systematically, everything improved. It may not have changed, but it improved for this team, in which case I would argue is a change. PSF1 with a couple massive donations here as well. So thank you again for these donations. PSF1 also says, with another $50 donation, which would bring his total to $100 before the next one, says another $50 for the kids. Let them have a Merry Christmas from a Bruins fan, Leafs fan, hockey fan. I don't give a damn. You send donations like that. I'm really greatly appreciative of those donations, your contributions, PSF1. Even if you are a troll or a hater, the donations are fucking awesome. So thank you. J-Rock here says, dropping in to say, I told you so. Hashtag believe in Berube. Well, again, analytically, not the prettiest the last little while, but eye test-wise the last little bit has felt and looked a lot better. It's not felt like you're just squeaking ones out. Another one here comes in from PSF1. On behalf of all the haters in the chat, the kids matter. Yes, they do. Thank you, PSF1. A bunch of people here waiting on the line to call in here tonight, so I don't want to make people wait any longer. Just last thing quickly, but I got to do. A reminder to those of you who are watching, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe here, Leafs Nation 401, right here on YouTube. Pre-game videos, morning shows, recaps, breaking news, as well as the After Dark show. Special guests like Jay Rosehill popping by. Those of you in the chat calling in, giving your thoughts. All of that and more happening on the Leafs Nation After Dark. And we have been going long this season on the post games. Already over $200 donated here tonight. It's been an awesome show here so far, but plenty more to get to and plenty of you guys in the chat. And as well, smelling salts. We hit 50 likes on the stream. Every 50 likes, 50, 100, 150, 200. I don't give a shit. You guys run this up to 500 likes on the stream. I will do it 10 times for the smelling salts. Here's the first set of 50. Thank you for liking. Here's the smelling salts. Oh, there you go. There's the smelling salts. Let's get more likes. Let's get these things up, and let's keep doing smelling salts. But until then, first caller of the night. I saw him jump in here early. He had to wait while Rosie was still on, and then my little ramble there before I got to the callers. But let's welcome to the show for the first time, I believe, for the first time here on the channel, Patrick Guerra. Patrick, are you there? And did I say your name right? Patrick, do we got you? You might be on mute, Patrick.
Boys, what's up? It's me,
There
Patty
we
G.
go. Oh, there we go. Patty G Mafia.
here.
What's
I'm
up?
here.
How are you?
Oh man, long time fan of the show. I've been watching it for the last, I guess you guys have been around 4 years now. So man,
Yep.
just glad to be on the show. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie, but
Don't be
no,
nervous, man. Don't be nervous.
No, man, I like what I saw tonight. You know, line 3, they're really clicking, and
Yeah.
I like the stature, I like the mentality. I like what they're about. Like, they play heavy. Joshua's finally figuring it out. Bobby Mack kind of leads the line. And then you got Woll there. Wall's just Mr. Reliable. Great PK guy. Winner. Knows how to do it. Matthews. Everyone's hard on Matthews, but he did get the dagger goal tonight. And
Sure.
like fucking Nyes' goal and assist. What else do you want?
Beast.
You know? And Auston shouldn't be blocking shots, in my opinion, in the first period, like around the 15-minute mark. He did that fucking, and I was like, oh shit, now that's
Off
all
his
we need is
foot.
Auston to go down, right? So
Yeah.
that was fucking scary as shit. No, yeah, just the boys are playing heavy. They're playing with energy. Like, what else do you want? They fucking smashed Penguins, the Penguins 7-2.
Yeah.
They win last game 4-1. They win this game 5-1. Like, they're on a heater. Like, I think, like, the haters, like, it's all the fucking old heads. You know what I mean? It's just the dudes that are scarred. Like, sure, I'm scarred too. I've been a fan for fucking believe me, a long time. I don't want to dox myself, but I've been a fan for a fucking long time. And I'm just telling you, this team, we lost Marner, but fuck Mitch. Mitch is a little bitch. He's a sellout. He was always going to leave. He never told us. And he's a cunt. We don't need that kind of guy around here. We need guys who have balls, guys who don't give up, guys who want to fucking play for the front, not the name on the back. And just, like, we're the fucking Leafs. If you don't want to play here, get the fuck out of there. Go play in fucking Nashville or something. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of these guys. I like what I saw tonight. Great first period. That's what my notes are. Oh, and Morgan Riley, he's the one that cost the goal tonight. So I'm not a big fan of Morgan Riley, as the chat knows. But no, man, I like what I saw. And yeah, you and Rosie pretty much said it all. But no, man, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing right now. Like Waller's going to have to figure it out, and he might be out for a fucking month. But if he's out for a month, we're gonna have to fucking get Hildeby. You never know. Maybe we'll get the next Stecker off waivers. You know what I mean? But
it's just next man up, next man up, next man up. Hildeby looked good here tonight in relief, and he looked good on Saturday. They look good, man. And like, I'll just quickly say as well. I'll quickly say, the thing is, I'm still not fully sold. I know what you're saying. I am pumped about this win. Rosie's pumped. The chat's pumped. We're all pumped about this win. Everyone has a right to be pumped. My only thing is just I want to see this style of play continue on a little bit more. That's it. It doesn't have to be a win on Saturday. A win on Saturday is awesome. It will make me exponentially happier, but it doesn't need to be a win on Saturday. It just has to be another game like this, played this way, this intensity, this buy-in, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, attention defense. To detail. Yes. You've played men's league. I played men's league. If you want to score, the best way to score is to make the other team feel like that they're not going to fucking score. You know what I mean? You break them down mentally. They're fucking, their shoulders are going to drop. They've like, oh, wow, okay, these guys are good, right? They back check, they hustle, and then you break them down. And that's what the Leafs are doing. They're finally listening, I believe, to Berube. You only could go as far as what your players, the talent and the heart that they put into the game. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy with these guys. I just want to say thank you for letting me on the show. Longtime fan. You, Nick, Rosie, Vicarino, you guys are awesome. And I just want to say thank you. And sorry, I'm not too technologically fucking sound here. So
you're good. You're good.
Sorry for the mute situation, but no, bro. What else did I put here? Oh yeah, Nyes, the hustle for Nyes, man. Like the poke checks and shit like that. Like after the first period, I really believe like he fucking somebody said something to him or something went off in his head and he's like, I gotta fucking show, I gotta contribute to the team, right? Because last game it was the third and fourth line again, right? So as Leaf fans, I think we can be happy. At the same time, we're worried with Woll, but mark my words, you heard it here, Leafs fans, we're winning on Saturday night. So
I like it.
Out like that. Yeah,
I like it. Patrick G Mafia. Long-time chatter, long-time follower of the show, finally calling in here. I'm glad we got to hear from you. Makes me happy that people from the chat are calling
next
in.
Time. Yeah.
Hey, no, it's been a great call. The energy, the intensity, all of it. It's been a great call here, Patrick G Mafia. So thank you for calling in. I
hate fucking pussy Leafs fans, Zach. Yeah, I hate the pussy Leafs fans that jump on them. They're all fucking hurt all year. Hey, I'm scarred too, okay? Like I said, fucking 9-10 years they're out in the first round every fucking year. But you know what? This could be the year. Maybe we now we don't got goalies, so we don't have much of the trade, nothing to trade. But I think down the line, trade deadline, maybe we get a guy like Patches. You know what I mean? We get like an older vet that can fill in. You know what I mean? Just as an example, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say before I hang up is I think that the trade kind of flipped. Like everyone was like, oh, Carlo was the good one and Laughton was the shittier part of the trade. Now I think it's flipped. I think Laughton was the better trade and now Carlo's the shit trade, if that makes sense.
Well, also, I think it's fair. By the way, to say that both of them were too expensive. Like I love Laughton as 6 1/3, loses his mind every time I say it. I love Laughton. I love everything he brings, but I again, like it's fair to say that it was an expensive trade and probably will still be an overpay, but he can also be an amazing player. Just maybe just a little too much, but that's fine. The Carlo one, we'll see. Maybe that one doesn't age as well. Maybe it does. Who knows? Like there's time, but as of right now, not the greatest.
The trade chip, Zach.
Yeah.
If that happens, yeah.
All right. Anything else for us here?
No, I'm great. Thanks again for giving me the chance. I'll come on down the road for sure. Again.
Perfect. Thanks, you
brother.
to Patrick G Mafia for jumping on. You have a great rest of your night. Anybody else in the chat as well? Like, you guys want to call in? Patty G there, longtime chatter, viewer of the show, calling in for the very first time on the post game to give his thoughts. Like, this is what it's all about. Whether you want to call in and you want to freak out, if you want to ask questions, if you want to be pumped up, if you want to be mad, if you don't like what you saw, I don't care. Like, you want to come on and express your opinion, come on and express your opinion. That's what the call line's open for. I'm willing to hear anybody and everybody on the post-game show. This is not just me sitting here saying I know best and that's all, and I'm going to talk my ear off for your ears off for 2 hours. You call in, give me your thoughts, let's have conversations on the post-game. That's what it's all about. Before I can get to the next call, quickly want to note, you see it in the chat there, the Nation Network YouTube channel. You see it in the top corner. Can't find on my screen right there, top left corner of my screen, the Nation Network logo. The Nation Network YouTube channel, brand new channel here that we've got going off the roster right now. The only show live on there, adding more content, but off the roster, Cabby, Dan Riccio, Lindsay Dunn live Monday to Friday on that channel. Amazing interviews these guys have. Earlier today, Jason Blake, former Leaf, the dad of Jackson Blake on the Carolina Hurricanes, George Springer on there as well. Yesterday, Randy Carlyle was on. Just disgusting for a second, if I can pause on that. Disgusting to have to hear Randy talk about he wishes he took timeouts, was using the TV timeouts as timeouts. But anyways, check out the Nation Network YouTube channel. Off the roster on there right now. Maybe you're not looking for just specifically Leafs content. Maybe you want Leafs, Jays, Raptors, just general Toronto sports talk and sports radio conversations going on. Make sure to check out the Nation Network YouTube channel. You can see it in the chat there right now. Check out the live shows going on over on the Nation Network, and notably right now, off the roster. Just amazing stuff. Amazing shows. I was watching it, and then I was a little frustrated having to watch Randy Carlo, but that's neither here nor there. That's a personal issue that I had. The other thing to note, yes, John S. bringing up, we are not past 20,000 subscribers. That's right. We're not past 20,000 subscribers, and that's the next goal. It's a lofty goal, but I want it by Christmas. That would give you guys... I always forget what day Christmas is. That would give you 21 days. 21 days to get us past 20,000. If you can get us past 20,000, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll have to figure out something. Because there was a bet that I made, and it might be a little premature to do it in January, but I was so down the other day on this team that there was conversations in the Nation Network producers meeting about the length of my hair. And it was brought up what I would do and what I would have to do to my hair if something were to occur. And I may have gotten a little ahead of myself and frustrated with the team and said that if they were in first place by Christmas, I would dye my hair blonde. I believe that was the bet. That would entail them rattling off like 9 of 10 to go into the break, and obviously some other guys falling off. But we may have to change some of the parameters because a January hair dye is a little aggressive. But, we can figure things out. Anyways, we got more callers. We're almost at 100 likes here. Just double checking. We also have another super chat to get to. So I want to check out what we have for the super chats. For our first one here, Maxentius Decimus. Max, thank you for the super chat. Maxentius Decimus says, one day, Zach will be so famous he'll never put down the smelling salts and we will have to do an intervention. If that's the case, this channel is in such an amazing place, I won't care. You could hook up an IV bag of smelling salts to sit here underneath me and I will just talk into the microphone with the smelling salts attached to the microphone if that's the case, because I'm a company guy, I am a team guy, and that would mean the show and the channel is doing well, and that's all that I want. Shane Brom also, Zach, was Prague right about Domi? I don't know that Prague was right about Domi. We might have somebody on the line here in a little bit who could have a conversation about Domi and let us know his thoughts about Domi. But I don't necessarily know if we... I don't know if we're at a point to say he's right about Domi yet. I do want to get to more callers here, so let's get to our guy, Joe Hill, who has been waiting, and it's been a while since I've heard from him. Joe, how you doing here tonight?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me, bud?
Yep, I got you there.
Outstanding. I'm doing well. I'm glad to be able to chat to you again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. It's been ups and downs for the Leafs, the season, last year, the summer, all of it. And yet here we are with another positive win from this Leafs team, and maybe one of the better ones that we've seen of them over the last little while, Joe.
Yeah. I will say the Caps game broke me, and went on a Twitter rant, and I was hating life and saying fire everybody, start again. I'm tired of it all. I think because I traveled all the way up there on Thanksgiving, with my sons to go see it, and then they let us down by taking the foot off the brake, like they have been. I had sent in a super chat earlier in the season where I had gone from being a Mitch Marner, never trade Mitch Marner guy, and you and I had plenty of discussions about that, but to starting to understand why we needed to now. And I think tonight is a prime example as to why, because when you have four guys that are super heavy up top, when it comes to salary and talent, but then you have a bottom six of league min guys, you're not going to be able to get a game like we had tonight, which was just solid, all four lines over and over and over again. And, Laughton and Woll and all these other guys who are contributing the way that they are, even if some of them are streaky, they're hitting at the right time when we need them to. And it looks like that's finally starting to come together a little bit. So I've already been a believer earlier, although a frustrated one, because I know that we could have won some of the games that we've lost with Marner there. But I also know that games tonight were a definite win, and why playing heavy doesn't mean that you're just punching guys in the face. This is a very long intro, and I'm sorry if I'm taking it away from you. But
No, you're good, man.
This is just what I've been thinking as I've been watching them play as a as a data guy, but also an eye test guy, because I've played and I can only say that the opportunist goals that we're seeing, the dirty, greasy goals like Laughton gave us tonight, that's the type of shit that we need. And I'm super stoked to be seeing it now in December rather than talking about how we need it later on in the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I mean, Joe, to the point that you made, I think one of the things that got lost upon people, and I think even still at this point, kind of gets glossed over, and it's something that I was trying to harp on, and at some point it just kind of stops mattering because the team wasn't playing so well. So it was like, what the fuck is this conversation even worth? But I think when you see a game like this is where it comes back to. There was a lot of people who clowned on Leafs fans, and maybe some people got ahead of themselves, but the conversation in the summer was, well, you got rid of Mitch Marner to replace him with Dakota Joshua, Nick Waugh, and Matthias Michelli. That's the wrong approach. That's not what the goal ever was. The goal was what you just outlined. It was that you've now lost that player. He's gone on. He's chosen a different route, a different career path, and that's fine. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants, but he's gone that way. That opens up that money, and it doesn't mean you're trying to spend his money on three players to moneyball together one player. That was never the goal. The goal was, as you just said, making the bottom better to elevate the bottom 6, make them better, put them in a better spot, and then you can kind of start to piece together a better team, which I think is where you're at with this group right now. It's a better team construct than maybe what they've ever had in the past. Yet to be determined over the course of a full 82 game season, and the way the season started would actually be, counterintuitive to what I just said, because it was quite frankly fucking atrocious. I mean, pardon my language, but awful. Like it was. But then when you see over the last little while, you start to go, oh wow, like there's 3 full lines. There's 3 lines who play heavy, and as you put it very well, heavy in the right way. It's not just about playing heavy and like being Colton Orr and Fraser McLaren and punching guys' heads in. It's about being heavy that is hard to play against. It's hard on the forecheck. It's putting pressure. It's wearing guys down. Like, that's what you start to see. And then you see what Scott Laughton does on the 4th line. And it's like, you never had a Scott Laughton, Joe, in your 4th line before, because you had money tied up in other spots, or you were misallocating money to different players and different positions and whatever it may be. Now you've got Scott Laughton on your 4th line, and I don't care what people have to say, that's an upgrade over David Kampf, who was your 4C last year. So if you just compare things and then you start to look at some of those pieces, it's better. And just final point before I hand this back over to you, Joe, is the one thing, and he made mistakes, and I'm not going to pretend like this guy was perfect in Brad Treliving in the summer. There's mistakes. There's one sitting in the press box right now who was a mistake. But he never said, we're replacing Marner, getting these 3 guys, and calling it quits. It has been very public from day one that they have been trying to get another top 6 forward, and specifically top line right wing. Like, that's the spot I will give him the credit for. Credit only goes so far, because at some point you got to pull the trigger and you have to do it. And who knows right now if this is the season that you actually want to spend the time and the money and the assets to do. But the point being, he never said, these are the 3 guys. I'm good. That's it. That's all I want to do. Last year, he tried to trade for Mikko Rantanen. In the summer, he tried to trade for JJ Peterka. He's looked around at other guys. There was for sure, whether you want to admit it or not, some sense of waiting. And I'm not saying this from I know this for fact. This is just an assumption. But there was definitely a sense from a lot of teams that there might be a certain number 97 becoming available in the near future, and maybe, just maybe, you want to open some money up for that guy. But point being, I don't think Treliving said, that's it, I'm done. I think he tried, and you're at least starting to see the pieces here in the bottom coming together, and you're seeing what is a better team than maybe they've had, at least from top to bottom. Maybe you're not as strong up top, but you're stronger in the bottom end of this lineup.
I think it's really interesting that as of next year, the Leafs would have had 15 mil in available cap space. It just so happened to be the exact number of 15 mil at a certain point.
Funny how that works out, hey?
Yeah, it'd be right before a certain 97 was signed for 2 years, right? So, and you're right. I mean, it hasn't been perfect, but I have to say there's more. Oh, that's interesting, rather than, oh, it's over coming out of me with each acquisition, right? I mean, Dakota Joshua is very streaky. Max Domi is very streaky and very frustrating at times. And even Waugh is finally starting to show us something. But the first 10 games, I was kind of like, we can't move the puck. We're slow. We're this, we're that. But it just goes to show you how, Stetcher, the acquisition for free was very interesting, and how he's moved. And I haven't been noticing him in any bad way whatsoever. And the defense is starting to look like it's gelling a little bit. So, a lot of things to be positive on tonight, and we could shit the bed on Saturday, and we'll all be in the doldrums by that point too. But I think after, at least coming after a game like with with the Pens, it's kind of like it's the Pens, and with Florida, it's like, all right, everybody's hurt on Florida, but with Carolina, it's a very healthy team, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, well that's a lot better than I expected. So very pleased. I mean, that Nyes goal was nasty. Oh, that was so nasty. And I was exactly what we needed out of that guy right at that time too. Seeing Auston scoring, just I couldn't believe Nye's just strong arming an entire player off of him with one arm, and
Bobby
and then,
McMahon did it too, by
Bobby
the way, on that empty
Bobby
net.
McMahon to the same player. To the same player. That dude just
No.
needs to sit
That
and-
one was to Goss Despair. The first one was to
Oh,
Aho.
okay.
Yes.
My bad. But
no, all
still,
good, all
man.
good. Yeah, still. Point stands, man. Yeah, just big boy hockey. Yeah, it's big boy hockey. Yeah.
You know, and I think one of my final points, just as a former goalie too, and we're talking about Woll and assuming these guys are made of glass and stuff like that. But one thing that you'll see, especially with American players, is anybody who was born after 1996, the Stolars and Woll and these guys, they grew up being taught like their butterfly style. And so their hips and their knees have taken a toll since they were like in junior hockey. Yeah. Guys who were coming up in the 80s and 90s, and they were, the Van Beesbrooks, the Richters, the Waws, those guys were creating that style, but they weren't playing it from the time they were age 6 or 7. You know what I mean? So the reason why those guys could go for 60 games, 70 games, whatever, was because their bodies hadn't taken the toll that these 25, 26-year-olds have taken nowadays. So that's one of my only caveats, just to what Rosie was saying as to why they're have a lot of pressure and stuff. But I think it's something to be said for that type of physical toll that goalies are put under, especially at this level. So anyway, just wanted to throw that in there, see what the chat will do with it, but who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. I can't speak to it. Not a goalie, not a guy. I'm the guy who could tell you good goal, bad goal when a goalie lets one in. Otherwise, positionally, I don't got too much to tell you. I could tell you angle was off, angle was not off, good save, bad save, hero save, and that's kind of the surface level.
Spoken like a true forward. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself.
That's the ones where I come down the ice, I look at the guy and say he's too far off his post, and you shoot it in, and you're like, well, yeah, he was too far off his post, and that's basically the same knowledge transfer I can bring over to goaltenders. So it's not too much I could bring on that standpoint, but that's an interesting point, Joe. I appreciate that. Anything else you got for me here tonight, and before I continue to go on to more callers?
Just from a personal point of view, man, I've been watching the shows. Just haven't had a chance to jump on because I've been having to get up at 4 a.m. for the last couple of years with a gig, and so. But now I'm working from home, so my schedule's more flexible. But still, really proud of you, man. Just from the old days, and really, really great for all the success you're doing. I mean, being able to advertise that Randy Carlisle's on your network and those guys, it's really impressive shit. So I just wanted to wish you well in all your success, and go Leafs go. Yeah,
thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Glad to get to hear from you. It has been a while, and I know you've been around my channel and my content for a long time, so I appreciate you sticking with it and still being here today, brother.
Absolutely, man. We'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good. There he is, Joe Hill, jumping on here on the post-game show. Been a while since I've got to hear from Joe, so I appreciate that. Just 1 second, and we'll do the Uber stat of the day. Before I get to the Uber stat of the day, we did hit 100 likes here on the show, so thank you to everybody who hit that like button. Thanks to everybody who subscribed here to the channel. Let's get to 150. We're at about 300 viewers here on the post-game show. So continue to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Again, trying to hit 20,000 subscribers right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube channel, Leafs Nation 401. Keep hitting that like button. Keep subscribing. Here's the smelling salts. Oh, there you go. There are the smelling salts. Thank you to everybody who liked and subscribed. With that, let's get to our next segment here before we continue on with some of the callers that we have tonight. Crave the Stats is a presentation of Uber Eats. Thank you to our friends at Uber Eats for jumping on here on the postgame show, being with us all season long. All you have to do sometimes, it's as easy as clicking a button and opening the door. And next thing you know, Uber Eats is right there at your door with your meal. I mean, that was the savior for me here tonight. I was running around getting work done, had to see a buddy before he moves away, came back, and the easiest thing for me to do, Uber Eats. Uber Eats enabling fans to maximize their fandom all season long with exclusive game day deals on the app, from game day eats to paper plates and napkins if you're hosting, to all the ingredients you need to make your favorite game day dip. Every time the Leafs are playing at home, you can get these exclusive deals in Toronto only on Uber Eats. That's the Firehouse Subs BOGO Brisket Hat Trick, Kibo Sushi BOGO California Roll, and Shelby Shawarma BOGO Traditional Wrap. BOGO, of course, is buy one, get one before, during, and after the game. Uber Eats is assisting every fan's hockey experience all season long. Couple things I just want to touch on. It's nothing really too in-depth here tonight. The one thing I brought up earlier in the show was I thought it was kind of funny. Sometimes you can see different sites charting things different ways, but I looked at the deserve to win meter on Money Puck, and that one suggests a 76.9% deserve a win meter for the Carolina Hurricanes, 23% for the Maple Leafs. And excuse me, you look at the expected goals in all situations there on Money Puck, it's 3.81 for Carolina, 3.56 for the Maple Leafs. But the one thing I think is kind of funny when you look at the Leafs shot chart in this one versus what the Hurricane shot chart is in this one is like a little bit different than Florida. You let a little bit more inside than you did the other day. Like the opportunities that came up for the Hurricanes, a little bit more dangerous. Your goaltender obviously had to play very well in this here tonight, but looking at some of these ones that are charted as like dangerous opportunities, you can see there's a lot that come from like outside. And to me, some of it is just determining, what is dangerous in this situation, what deems it as being a dangerous situation here, because then you go over to like something like Evolving Hockey, which I was looking at, and Evolving Hockey puts this one at a 4.87 expected goals for the Maple Leafs and 3.87 for the Hurricanes. So again, that's where things change. You look at the Corsi for Carolina is 79. The Corsi for Toronto is 39, which is just accumulation of kind of offensive chances created for either side, whether it's goals, shots, attempted shots, missed shots, all that kind of stuff. And then, on top of it, when you look around, you kind of hear and people talk about it frequently as like, well, the Carolina Hurricanes are a very Corsi-focused team, and some of the guys who play for the Carolina Hurricanes tend to bring up, they're warming up their Corsi because they shoot everything on net in the first and the second period, and then you get to the third, and all of a sudden, you're still peppering shots because you're down in the game. It's interesting. You just weigh things with a grain of salt. Let's continue on with callers here tonight. We've got a few more waiting, so let's get to our guy, Mando. Mando, do we got you on the line here? Mando.
Hey, Zach.
There we go. Mando, what's up?
Hey, remember I called in on Tuesday and we talked about the goalie situation, and lo and behold, we're here we are. But I hope that, and everyone hopes that, it's not a long injury. Hildeby looks good. That's really good. But I think Tree's got to make some calls to see if he can pick up somebody, just in case.
Yeah. I mean, look, Mando. It's a sketchy situation, right? You heard Berube after the game. The quotes that are coming out here right now that we're looking at. I was just reading some of them as they were coming through in the post game here. I just want to make sure I quote it properly. But Mark Masters was tweeting some stuff out. I lost it somehow. But Mark Masters was tweeting out Berube said on Woll they're going to evaluate tomorrow. They bring up the fact that Anthony Stolarz hasn't skated since sustaining an upper body injury on November 11th. This is a month later, if anybody remembers, and I know Vic does. He sent it to me the other day. That, it was November 13th. It was tweeted out that he was day to day. Here we are a month later. This guy's not even skating yet. So sketchy situation. And then you add on top of that the fact that Joseph Woll goes out, and you're basically looking at Dennis Hildeby and Arthur Aktiamov here at this point to be your saviors. It's not ideal, but I think the way the team is playing in front of them is at least a positive enough step to be confident that it won't be just floodgates opening when it comes to scoring for the opposition. Dennis Hildeby has looked good enough.
I agree. He was great in Philly. There's a little silver lining. I've been thinking about this. You look at Stolarz, and after he made the public comments that Berube said he would have been kept in the locker room. That I think that jinxed the whole team. Frankly, they just after that everything just went to shit.
Seemed to, yeah, it did seem to.
But here's a silver lining that I have a theory. Stolarz played horrible. Maybe he was always injured, and maybe he was playing through something, and it got worse to the point where he's gone or dead or whatever. Hopefully, it's not that bad, but you know what I'm saying. And then on the other side, I'm looking at Carlo.
Mm-hmm. Mando, did I lose you there?
No, somebody just.
Somebody what?
There's another guy talking.
Oh, I don't know. I can't hear anybody else. If anybody else on that call, there's only one person that comes through here onto the post game to me, and it's you right now. So you're the only person I can hear. So I don't know if there's any other way to change that. I'm not really sure, but I guess there is.
There's a guy named Alex talking over me. That's weird.
Oh. Alex, if you can mute your mic. But anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Mando.
All right, I think he's leaving. That's so weird. Okay, he's gone now. All right.
Okay.
Anyways, what the hell was I talking about?
I don't know. The injuries and Brandon Carlo is where we left you at. We got you?
Yeah, okay. I'm still here. Yeah, so and I was gonna say about Carlo, maybe he played well last year, right? I mean, he came in and he played pretty well. We got through the first round and we didn't talk about him. That means he was doing his job. And then all of a sudden he turns to crap. So maybe he was also playing through something and it just got worse, and now he's disappeared as well. So hopefully this is a silver lining that both those guys, Stolarz and I can't think of what was I just saying.
Carlo,
when they return, hopefully they come back a lot better. Hopefully this team can hang on for that, and things will look better. But one thing I wanted to mention is Nyes. He is unbelievable. The guy's a tank. It was Aho that bounced off him.
Yeah, that was him. He pushed past and pushed him back. It threw him off effectively.
Gossespierre with no stick pushes him. I was surprised. I was pissed because the ref didn't put up his hand, right? But luckily he scored. But he that didn't bother him. He gets pushed. He gets back up, and it's the guy is a tank. That guy is unbelievable. I can't say enough about him. But all around, it was an excellent game.
100%. I'm with you, Mando. I thought this was a much better game from this team. I thought that they played real well. I think process wise, this was the best one of the season. I think execution wise, this is the best one of the season. All the way around, you got scoring from high end guys, your top talent. You got scoring from your depth guys. You got goaltending. Your penalty kill look better. I look at the power play. That's really the one real negative. I know Morgan Riley was brought up by some people as a negative for tonight for them, but I think that my evaluation of him in this one would more so be more in line with what Rosie said about Nylander and Tavares, where they just didn't have the greatest nights, and I think that that's fair. Like, it doesn't have to be a diss on them. It can just be calling it what it is. It wasn't the most perfect night from those players, but you got through it. It didn't kill them. It didn't kill the team. It didn't ruin the rest of the guys that were on the ice. You made it work. So I thought this is a positive game tonight, Mando.
Yeah, excellent. And I hope so. Here's the thing, we're as Leafs Nation, we are bipolar. I mean, we get up, we get down. I think we have to kind of be like, when they talk to the players, they say we're not up, we're down, we're not down, we're just, we have to be even keel. We have to see they're not out of the woods, right? Let's get to Christmas. Hopefully they can string some more games. They can play with this structure. All the players that we're talking about continue to play. And then we'll talk and whether or not Tree can do something in the trade deadline if things continue to go well. Only concern is Nylander looks still a little bit not lost, but ghostish. I haven't, I don't see his dominant presence where he's like dominating play. And Matthews, there's a good goal he scored, but there's still something like he's not what he used to be still. Like, I just feel like his presence isn't there yet still. So those are a little bit ominous. I hope those two guys, really turn it around, or get back to what we're used to. That's what came to my mind.
So the only thing I'll say about Nylander is, it seems as though he was genuinely sick. It felt like in the game against Pittsburgh on Saturday, he was lacking some energy. And a lot of times I think we can talk about Nylander and say it's interest and how hard he wants to work and him choosing to or choosing not to. On Saturday, like watching the way he played, I genuinely would give Nylander the pass of saying, like, and maybe this is just me and I'm getting it wrong, but it's speculation. Like, I watched that one and felt like that was I don't have the energy because something is dragging it out of me kind of a game. And so I gave him the pass. And it feels like, from what we've seen of him for the last week, since last Friday, and what we've heard from Mike Johnson and Gord Miller, who have been following them on this road trip. They talked about it on Tuesday. They talk about it again here tonight. You heard it even a little bit on Saturday's broadcast. It's just like, it sounds like he's been battling something and it might be taking a bit out of him. So I'll give him that pass. The other thing is, Nylander just naturally has blips. Like, it's something he does. He will get insanely hot, and then he will cool off for a little bit. So if this is something where he's losing energy and he's just cooling off, and they can time them at the right time, and then he gets healthy and he gets fucking hot again, it's perfect. It's a perfect mesh of things to happen at the right time, Mendo. But yeah, I get what you mean about the Nylander thing. I'm giving him a little bit of a pass right now, and it's also helpful when you're not looking to him every night and being like, hopefully Nylander can bail us out, because you're getting participation from the rest of the group.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have two timelines. I have, it's like BC and AD, like before COVID and after COVID. Before COVID, I hated Nylander. Not because, I mean, he was, because he was a great player, I hated him because of the way he would just, look like he was lazy, and he wasn't. I remember, I think it was the Boston Bruins in 2019, where they were down once. I think it was Game 7, or it was it was a must-win game, and he just gave away the puck, and that just really ticked me off. But then after the pandemic, I would say around 21 or 22 season, he changed. Like he actually became more consistent and played both sides of the puck better. And it looked like he was, he didn't go into these lulls where he was floating around and just skating around, not going after pucks and stuff. But yeah, so he still has those tendencies. I totally agree. But the main thing, like you said, is how to minimize it. And then, like you said, when you get secondary scoring, you don't need Nylander. But then
Yeah.
later on, when you do lean him, hopefully he'll come in and everything balances out.
All right, Mando. With that, I'm going to get you out of here. I got more
Thank you very
callers to
much.
take. I got some more segments to do. So I appreciate you and your time here tonight. I
Thanks
hope
for having
you
me.
have a good rest of your night, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Awesome. See you.
There you go. There he is, Mando. With that, let's get to the guy he said was on the call with them, and he was potentially hearing from, but us on the chat weren't. Let's get to our guy, Alex A. Alex, do we got you there?
Yeah, you do. But FYI,
Alex,
that
break it
wasn't
down
me.
for the chat. What was happening?
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was some other guy named Alex. It wasn't me. I swear. So I don't know. He was just yapping, and I don't know. He was talking over Mando, I think it was, right?
So you guys can all hear each other? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just yapping, and then all you hear is I think it was his girlfriend or something. He just said something to her, and he's like, I feel like an idiot for having my cam and my mic on, and everyone can hear me, and I'm talking over, and he was just begging for you to put him on the call line, so it's hilarious. He's like,
And he's
take
gone
me
now.
on the call, Zach, take me on. And then he left. Yeah, so I don't know. He's just completely out of here, but yeah.
right.
I don't know. That's a way to enter the call.
I never saw another Alex. I only saw you, so I was like, I don't know. Alex is like maybe chilling in the background, didn't realize that he could be heard. I don't know. I'm like, Alex usually knows what the hell's going on here, so I didn't realize that was a thing. But good to know, I guess.
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
know for future reference. Anyways, Alex, let's get to what's important here tonight. Talk to me about tonight's game and how you're feeling about this team right now.
So I haven't talked to you in a little bit. I think the last
Yeah.
game we talked was the Washington game, I think,
Yep.
or something
I
before that.
believe so.
Anyways, but yeah. So obviously we've been winning these games now, these last 3 or whatnot, and in a row, and it's looked really positive. And the only thing we can really talk about is just the what's going on the ice recently, and I feel like they've been building up off of that, and especially that third line. That is something I want to talk about, and I think that they've been making a lot of strides on both sides of the ice to make a very, very big impact, which is very refreshing to see because I feel like all of the season for like the 20 plus games, we haven't been seeing that other than the last 3 games. Even this game, they were
Yep.
effective. They didn't all score anything, but we got McMahon with 2 goals. They looked hard on the forecheck. They were good in their own zone. We let in 1 goal as a whole team. So what can you really complain about other than some things you want to nitpick, maybe certain players. Maybe Prague's favorite player, Domi, but we'll maybe get on to that in a second here. But yeah, so like it's a lot of positives, and I feel like we've been a lot tighter in our own zone, which is positive. It's given me more of the vibes from last year's way we played defense, but I'm not getting ahead of
sure.
myself with that. But I feel like I've seen that, we're still having a lot of shots, but not having as many high scoring danger chances, right? And having a goalie that can bail you out is refreshing, I guess you could say the least about that.
Yeah, and no, you're right, and I would say it's closer to last year's, and I wouldn't necessarily say all the way there, but definitely closer, and that felt much more like what we've all been harping on when it's like we're trying to get to that point, we're trying to be built that way, we're trying to play that way. And I felt like that was kind of a step in the right direction here again tonight. There's also, by the way, Alex H. Ross in the chat says, at Zach, sorry, bro, hot mic.
That was it. It was him.
right.
That was him. That was hilarious. That was
There you
so
go.
funny.
We've solved it. All good, Alex. We know for future now. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen. But anyways, back to it. Yeah, I agree with you, Alex. Not the one who was talking while Mando was on. I agree with you. It looked better all the way through, and this felt like a much more in the right direction here tonight in this game. You wanted to talk about Domi? Is that something you wanted to do?
Most definitely, I want to talk about Domi.
Let's
So
hear it.
I just like he's so frustrating to watch. Like he puts up the 2 points tonight, right? I was pretty sure it's 2 assists. Obviously,
Are
the
you
one on the
doing this
Matthews
just
goal.
to rile up Prague? By the way, is this what you're doing right now?
I mean, sure, but like realistically, me and my dad were talking about it, and like I'm just like, I don't get all this guy's still on the first line, all this and
Yeah.
that, and then he gets like, I swear we were talking about it because he already got the point on the Nyes goal, I think it was before Matthews' goal, and then we're talking about Domi. I'm talking like, I don't know why he's on the first line, and then he gets the assist on the Matthews goal, and I'm like, me and I look at each other, we go, of course, while we're talking about this guy, he gets that point, which, sure, he got the points, that's good. Cool, but I really just don't really like his game still. And maybe I'm nitpicking. I don't know. We won, so I'm not gonna like say you got to change the lineup because obviously I don't think you break a winning formula myself. But like I don't know. I just don't see it with Domi. I don't. Simple as that.
I mean I'm pretty much there with you as well. Like I'm not going to harp on him for this game tonight. I thought he played
Of
a good
course.
game tonight. I got no issue there. So it's like this game in particular, I'm not going to jump on him. Long term, I'm with you though, Alex. Like if Max Domi is your first line right winger when you get into the playoffs, I think you're in trouble. You know, maybe he could find something here with Matthews, and it could be like your Dupuis Kunitz line with Crosby. I don't think so personally, just because I think that there's too many holes in Domi's game. Like I personally just don't believe that will be the case. That said, he's looked good here tonight. Maybe he can build off of this, but I just am of the belief myself that if he is your guy that's your first line right winger, you're in trouble. I think you need to upgrade on him. And I think when you look down the rest of the lineup, you know, you start to pick off guys here. You're not moving Joshua now if he plays this way. If McMahon plays this way, you're not moving him. Same for Woll. Obviously, Nylander and Tavares are untouchable there. Cowan's not moving out of the top 6. So now you start to look at like Lorentz and Laughton, and I think they play the way you want them to, and they build out your lineup the way you want. So you're basically looking at like this combination of like it's either Domi or Robertson that would go, or if somebody falls off a cliff, maybe them coming up. But you know, I don't have an issue with Domi playing wing right now on that line if he plays like he did tonight. I just think long term, it's not what you want. But yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think we've talked about this before. I'd rather see Robertson there again, which I know you mentioned, and I do agree with you that I don't know how well his game, goes with Nyes and Matthews, but like I think the same goes for Domi. But yeah, we don't need to get too much further into that. I just wanted to kind of bring it up because I was kind of nitpicking it during the game, and I'm like, I wanted to hear what you thought. And I do agree. He had a solid game. It was just ironic because I was talking about it like that, and then he did that. But
Yeah.
who I didn't think had a good game myself, and I was almost pulling my hair out over the first 2 periods was Morgan Riley. Like he's just so frustrating to watch. I don't know. I hate picking on the guy, but like, dude, it's like I don't get it. Like he's given these turnovers with the puck on his stick, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, your job is to be able to break the puck out and get it out of your own zone, and you're not doing that. I understand you're not gonna play elite defensively. I totally get it. But when I see the puck on your stick, the one thing you should be good at is getting it off your stick out of your own zone, and he's not doing that. At least
I'm
this
with you.
game, I should say. But like, it's just frustrating. Like, that's your job. Simone Benoit, if I'm watching him, am I expecting him to make a good pass out? No. But he's also a third pairing defenseman that's making like what, $1 million? Morgan Riley making $7.5 million, buddy. You got to be able to break the puck out of your own zone. That's what you're paid to do, right?
I'm with you 100% on that one, by the way.
Yeah. But a breath of fresh air has been that Troy Stetcher guy, man. I don't even know.
You want a stat?
Yeah,
You want
give
a
me a
stat?
stat. Give me a stat.
Okay, here's a stat for you. This is tweeted out by Luke Fox. Troy Stetcher skated a team high, Alex, the most minutes of anybody on your Toronto Maple Leafs here in this game tonight. Troy Stetcher, a team high 24 24 minutes and 23 seconds. Looking at the lineup here, anybody who came close to him. So Troy Stetcher finishes +1, no goals, no assists, 2 block shots, finished with 1 shot on goal, 24 minutes and 23 seconds of time on ice. The guys around him, Ekman-Larsson, 22:03. Jake McCabe, 22:23. Morgan Riley, 19:52. Drop off to Myers, 11:18. Benoit, 17:03. You look at your forwards here in this game tonight. Matthews played 20 minutes and 8 seconds, and he was the next closest forward. Everybody else on your forward group tonight, Tavares, 16:49, which again benefits, like this is the benefit of having all your 4 of your lines rolling. Laughton, 14:19. Nyes, 18:04. Domi, 14:52. Lorentz, 10:45. I'm just listing off all the numbers, but just kind of to give an example of how close everybody was together. Troy Stetcher played the team high 24-23, and I will throw something else in there for you from Luke Fox here tonight. He's played a minimum of 23 minutes and 52 seconds in each of the Leafs' past 3 games, all of which were regulation wins.
Crazy. Those are some crazy stats. Like waiver wire, like pickup for the Leafs this year.
Hero.
Sure. Yeah, he's a hero. He's changed the way the back end's looked since he's walked into Toronto, which is wild to say. And I mean, I had some ambition about him when he came to the Leafs, but I didn't expect him to be like this. Obviously, this is a short sample. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But what he's done has been very impressive for what we expected. I was expecting the guy to play bottom pair, break the puck out, and move his feet, which he does, don't get me wrong, but he's doing that at a way better rate than what I was thinking. And my dad was bringing up, my dad really likes him and thinks like he has that intensity. He's a small guy, but I don't know, he's got like some fire in him. Like he's in front of the net. He's being in those battles. He's not afraid. I'm not saying he's going to go trucking guys, but he's just intense. Like he's there. He will get that puck out, whatever he has to do. And yeah, like it's refreshing to see. He's playing second pair right now. Let's just put that in perspective. Well, technically first pair minutes if we're realistically looking at it, which is wild.
Yeah.
But second pair with Jake McCabe, and if you look at it, since he's came and Jake McCabe's been his partner, Jake McCabe's looking better, which is
100%
something we want to see, right? So I think a defenseman like that that sort of skill set would help a guy like Jake McCabe. And you know what? If he can even be like this, like even if he's not as good as he is right now, but even just to a lesser of an extent, that's not a bad thing, because then when the guys get all healthy, like Carlo and Tanev, look at those defense pairings. You actually have 3 right shot defensemen. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like that's
well,
crazy.
Yeah. When they come back, yes.
When they come back. But yeah,
Yes,
so like,
yes.
and Carlo, I think we harped on him, me and you, many times in this, on this channel here. And the thing is, I think myself now hearing everything that this guy might be under the knife and all this, that this guy probably was playing injured. But I can't say that for sure, but probably was. And my dad's like, you know what? He didn't look like himself. And maybe that's the case, but we will never know until maybe when he comes back and he's like, yeah, I was playing hurt. And then, this came up and we decided to,
which we also might never hear, by the way, given this team.
We also might never hear that or he might even be in Germany right now. He might even be in Germany for all we know.
He could be in fucking Australia. We won't know.
Yeah, we won't know. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see what they can continue to do. And it's been impressive, and I hope our boy Joseph Woll is okay. That was sad. That was sad to see. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's something minor, but it's okay. We got the Hildebeest. He's done his job since when he's played. So I'm not gonna sit here and be worried with a guy that's done what you needed him to do. So I'm excited to see him play. I thought he was gonna get play tonight, to be honest. That's what I really originally thought, but he wanted to write the hot hand, I guess.
Yeah, my thought was like, if you're going to pick one of the games that you start the guy who's been kind of playing out of his mind. I'd rather win the Atlantic Division matchup and get it right against the Habs than, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying you throw Hildeby to the Wolves, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying more so like the concept of like, okay, which one would you rather start your better guy in for? It would be, for me, Montreal on Saturday, just because I'd rather like start the guy, try to get that one at home, get back from this road trip, like go against an Atlantic Division team and be like, let's go get this 4-point win, because when you start to break it down against teams within your division, those go from 2 to 4 points because you're taking 2 away from another team. And when it's this tight, I'd rather win those ones. But they start Woll, you get the win. Now it's up to Hill to be on Saturday night, it seems.
You know what? And to go with that, Wall would have also been really determined to do good this game. Like, again, if he was going to play against the Habs, because he got pulled last game against them.
Yes, true.
And it was not his fault. So I feel like, if anything, he would have played absolutely out on his head and out of his mind. So it's unfortunate to see, but you know what? Got to ride with you guys. And I don't, they've shown what they've shown the last 3 games, and I hope they can keep that up. And you know what? I'm not going to get my hopes too high, but I'm going to be happy with the progress we've seen. I feel like these games have been the most progress we've seen all season, by far. By
100%.
far, and it's not even close.
Yep.
Not even close. And it's the complete games, and doesn't matter who we've played. I think it's just a matter of seeing what they've actually done on the ice, because you can only, like you say all the time, you can only play who's in front of you, right? And it's the way we actually play the games, not just a win or a loss, because there's the whole effort thing that we've talked about many, many times, which we don't need to get into that after what we've seen lately. So knock on wood, that stays the same.
Effort and execution are 2 things that we're really looking at right now, and it was much better here tonight. Alex, I got 2 more callers to get to, so with that, I appreciate it. I'm going to get to a couple segments and some callers, and we'll wrap up the show here tonight, but thank you for calling in. Thanks for taking the time to do this, and look forward to hearing from you after a Leafs win on Saturday night against the Habs.
Oh, I'm hoping, buddy. We need to beat him after the last time. I said I wanted to beat him more than anything. So fingers crossed, and we'll definitely chat, and hopefully it's another positive one. So thanks, Zach. Have a good night.
There you go. There he is. Alex A. Hopefully another positive one on Saturday. 2 more callers, as I said. By the way, I just checked in the chat. I got a bunch of things going on around here right now. Trying to sort out, make sure get Alex off smoothly. We're going to get to the next segment here in a second as well, making sure that we've got the next callers lined up. I just saw John S. I don't even know what this is in relation to. John S. 4407 says, I heard you should eat a slice of pizza upside down to enjoy the toppings better. What the fuck is happening in the chat? I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now, but I just tune in. That's all I see going on. Anyways, we got a segment to get to, 2 more callers that I want to do. So let's get to our best bet of the night. Best bet is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use promo code NATION. That's NATION. Promo code NATION. NATION. You must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Best bets tonight, lost. I'm on the freezer of all freezers. This is now 16 straight losses. This is not something that I think I've ever had, ever. In the show's history, in my history, none of it. This is not something I can say that I've experienced. So I think the Leafs slump was a massive part of it, but another loss here tonight. We are now down 3.4 units on the season. I don't even have anything else to say. Cowan was the anytime goal was the 1 bet. Cowan finishes the night. I don't think tonight was Easton Cowan's best night. He was -1. He ended up with 1 shot on goal. Not to say like bailing on Cowan or anything. I just don't think that this was his best night of the year. And of course, it's a night that we bet on him. And then the other one was his line mate, William Nylander, who finishes tonight with 15 minutes and 30 seconds of time on ice and 1 shot on goal as well. Great. It's a battle. That's our best bet. Lost 2 of them. go down 3.4 units on the year. Keep hitting that like button. We're almost at 150 likes here on the post-game show. We do have 2 more callers to get to, so let's go to the one that I think is going to have some high energy coming up. He's somebody that I really enjoy hearing from on the post-game. He called in for the first time on Friday against the Washington Capitals, called back in on Tuesday as well after the win against the Florida Panthers, and now calling back in here tonight after the Leafs, what's probably their best win of the season and their best win in a long time. The Willie Glazer, who's changed his name from Willie Glazer to Nylander Glazer, to be clear, because there was a pause that needed to be hit on the first one. Noah G, how's it going tonight, brother?
What's up, Zach?
I am feeling good after this win here tonight against the Canes. I think if there was ever a time for this Leafs team to show up, do the right thing, play the right way, it was tonight against Carolina, and send a message like that. Like, hey, we're not going to fuck around anymore. We're here to get things done. This one was a positive game for me when it came to what the Leafs did on the ice tonight.
When you check on Carolina after that belt the fucking ass.
That was a little bit about ass. I know that money puck right now on the deserve to win meter doesn't necessarily say so, but that eye test wise felt really good tonight, Noah.
Screw these analytics nerds. Are they the one on the ice? No. Like, honestly, I don't care what the hell they say. They're the ones at home in their mom's basement. I don't give a fuck.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's hear it. What did you think about this win tonight? What you saw from these guys, the lines, top to bottom, all of it. Let's hear it, Noah. Have at it, buddy.
You know, I'm confident, man, but at the same time, I like to admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
And damn, was I wrong on Dakota Joshua, man. It just keeps on biting me in the ass. Like, man, I remember calling here on Friday, like, saying whoever traded for him was dumb as hell, but the last 3 games have been Connor McDavid-esque for Dakota Joshua.
McDavid-esque. I don't know about McDavid-esque, but and also, to be fair to you, you're not the only person who thought that. And Rosie earlier in the show on Friday also came in and had some choice words for Dakota Joshua and the way he's been playing, not just execution-wise, but effort-wise. So I think you were justified in what you said. But yeah, fuck, man, he's really turned it around the last little bit.
The last 2 times I've called out 3 players. And ever since, those 3 guys have been rolling. Matthew Naz, Auston Matthews,
yes.
Dakota Joshua.
Yeah. I was going to say, who was the third? Yeah, Matthews. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Those guys have been rolling. And so now I'm going to get to my 4th guy, who I'm going to call out. I love this man, as you can tell by my name. Willie. I get he's injured, bro. I need you to get going, Willie. Come on, man. Let's go. I need this guy to get going.
Yeah. He's got to get going. Look, I mean,
Willie's
give him the
Willie's
pass.
Playing like he has something up his ass.
It's fair. I'll give him the pass because I think that he I think that he's been sick, so like giving him that excuse personally, and I'm just saying maybe he's not got the energy right now, maybe that's being sucked out of him and he just doesn't have it right now. Fair, but let's see this turnaround. Like, let's see starting Saturday against Montreal, home game, Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, an opportunity to avenge yourselves. Like, let's fucking bring it on Saturday night. Let's get things going there.
I was just about to say, I'm going to throw in a little bit of glaze here. He shines when it matters most. And Saturday night, I'm calling it, you're going to see him break someone's ankles. I'm calling it. All right?
Okay.
Willie's going to be rolling out there. He loves playing the Habs. He loves the light. And going back to Toronto on a 3-game heater, he's playing like ass against the Habs. That's a damn big moment. And he's going to shine. I know that for a fact.
I like it. I like the prediction. I believe in it as well. I just feel like Willie's one of those guys too who just kind of rides through some of these cold streaks, and then all of a sudden he comes back, he'll score 2 goals, he'll have the game winner, and he'll be the best player on the ice, and all of a sudden you go, what the hell was that? Where was that over the last little while? But I also kind of feel like we're going to see a turnaround out of Nylander coming soon here. What else you got for us here tonight, Noah?
I'm just going to say this, bro. Like, tomorrow it's going to come out saying that Joseph Woll's day-to-day. In reality, he's on Mars constructing a new Earth, all right? Like, who knows? Like, the Leafs, like, I hate when they do this. The only reason they do it is to sell
Yeah.
tickets, right? Because if someone hears Auston Matthews out, Joseph Woll's out, they're not going to go buy the tickets. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
smart on a marketing plan, but it's also a pretty douchey move, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I also think there's an element here of like we're protecting our guys. We don't want people to come back and go and attack them at this, but like, um, it's getting a little bit insane. Like, and this is not to make light of the Anthony Stolar's injury. I don't know what he's dealing with. It's just insane to me that he's listed as day to day. They say to the media he's day to day, and next thing you know, he hasn't skated, and it's a month later. Like, how do you get here? How does that happen? That's what I don't understand. I'm not doubting the injuries. I'm not doubting how hurt these guys are, like whatever. I just don't understand the progression of this stuff. Like Brandon Carlo was skating this Monday before they played against Florida, and next thing you know, he's on a plane back home and potentially getting surgery. Like this guy was nearing a return and now he's getting surgery. Like where was the change here? That's what's confusing to me.
I don't think it's Berube who does this either. I think it's
I don't think so either.
upstairs.
No, I don't think so.
I
don't
it's
think it's
from
Berube.
upstairs.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
But
yeah,
you see the Leafs tonight, and this is exactly what you want them to be. We always knew they're not going to go outshoot someone 35-20, look dominant, but they're going to capitalize on their chances, be gritty, and get the big saves. And I saw guys talk. The last caller talking about Jake McCabe and Troy Stetcher. If you told me that Troy Stetcher would look like Cale Makar in a Leafs jersey, I would say you're on Evgeny Kuznetsov's cocaine. All right? Like, what is happening this year? Holy crap. Oh, Troy Stetcher, man. I'm sure make Team Canada. Jeez. Make him the captain for all I care. Jeez, get him to Italy now. Book the flight. This guy's insane.
He has been insane this year. Since coming to the Maple Leafs, he has been insane. I think that it kind of just the recognition of like, this is the last legs, the last life that we've got. We're going to have to push. If we're going to stay in the NHL here, just kind of looking internally and coming to that realization, I do agree with that. And I think that it's kind of brought the best out of him here. And I think him and his mindset, his approach has kind of brought that to the rest of the team here as well, Noah.
Zach, I think, Zach, I think a few days ago, last time I was on, we're talking about the parade. We're like 2 days closer to the parade, man. We're 2 days closer.
That chair is bolted down, buddy. The chair is bolted down. I got my spot. It's out there. I got a spot beside me for you. We're going to be sitting there together, faces painted and everything.
We're gonna see Matthews lifting up that cup and be like, how the hell did we get here? I remember we lost to who knows? We lost everything. We lost to Seattle. They looked like prime Pittsburgh Penguins. I was like, this is the worst team on the planet, And now this team's rolling. Like, no, I'm not even trying to gas up Carolina here, but we just beat the best two Eastern Conference teams from the last 3 years. If you think about it, those have been the two best teams, and. I think Florida's injured. Oh, they still have Sam Reinhart. All right, they still have Brad Marchand. They still have Bobrovsky, Ekblad. Their team is still one of the best teams in the NHL. Like, people need to stop. Like, I hate when people ask for wins. They get them, and then they nitpick at the wins. Like, enjoy this, man. Like, that's what I learned from the beginning of the season. I did not enjoy the wins enough. And now we're getting the wins, and people are nitpicking. Like, shut the fuck up. We're winning. You know what I mean? Like, jeez, man.
I think I'll push back on that a bit. I think that the wins that we saw earlier were not that great. Like, they were not ones to write home about. This one here tonight, the last couple wins are ones that are like, yeah, this is the right way to do it. This is the right way to get wins. This is the right way to play the games. And that's where it starts to feel positive. Like, when we start to see these ones, that's when it's like, yeah, this thing is headed in the right direction. Maybe this isn't perfect, but this is the right formula, the right process. So, and I'm guilty of it too. I nitpick some of those wins, but I think early on, those ones were nitpick worthy. These ones here tonight, not so much for me. Do we still got you?
Oh yeah, I didn't. I think you cut off there at the end. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. No, I'm just saying these ones, these games, these wins, these are the ones that I look at. And I'm like, I'm not going to nitpick these too much. This is a lot of positive to take away. The ones before, I felt like there was a lot of holes in those ones that needed to be better.
I want to say something here. Auston Matthews has looked good. He's looked great. I need people to stop harping on him a little bit, you could still see he's fighting something, and he's still playing like a great player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, that power play, it's I can't anymore. Like usually I stand up when the Leafs have a power play. I'm all right. I think I got the power. You know what I mean? They put it on the thing when the Leafs are at home. But like, geez, man, like this power play, I'm more worried of us getting scored against. And then you see Mark Savard take knives off it. What are you doing, man? Like, geez.
Yeah, they left Cowan on it, and then they took Nyes off, which I thought was interesting because this was one of those games, like, normally I like Cowan being on it. This is one of those games where I think you kind of got to recognize the hot hand. I put OEL on it for sure. I think that's the right decision and move Matthews off the top. But for me, I think that tonight is a recognition night where it's like Nyes is going, Cowan didn't have the best night. Switch them around, give Nyes the power play opportunity, move Cowan off of it. It's not a knock on Cowan, just based on the way tonight was going. But, yeah, I mean, taking Nyes off was an interesting decision for sure.
I don't know what Mark Savard's smoking. Like, holy, he's not been. I like seeing his reactions off the bench when they do score the once in a blue moon goal on the power play. But, geez, man, like, what's going through your head when you think, like, the setup on the power play? Like, it makes no sense to have Cowan on there instead of Nyes because Matthews, OEL, and Willie will be controlling play. That leaves Cowan net front. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the process, like, the thought process of it. Like, Mark, man, like, wake up.
Yeah.
This is when we need to start winning.
I'm with you. I'm with you here, Noah. All right. Anything else here before we get to our final caller of the night?
I'll let Prague get on and start gassing up Domi, I guess. But I just want to say, Zach, always, man, love to get on the show. Big Leafs win, and let's go shut those Habs fans up.
Let's do it. Great win. Thank you for calling in, Noah. You're welcome back here anytime. As you know, the link goes in there. I look forward to seeing your name popping up in the queue and knowing that you're calling in and bringing some energy, some positivity, or just some intensity to the post-game show, because especially as the show gets longer and the farther we go, sometimes it can dip or it can change, and I know you're always going to bring it. So I appreciate that and look forward to hearing from you after the win on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
There you go. No G hopping on here. The Willie Glazer. He changed his name, by the way. He puts in brackets for a little peek behind the curtains. I think he's okay with this. It says Noah G on the screen, but it says Noah G. It says Nylander Glazer. Not Willie Glazer, Nylander Glazer. I mean, there's a little tease as to what's about to happen here in a moment. We can't go all night. We're not going to go until midnight on this one. That would be nuts. But there were super chats that came in, Proceeds from our super chats do go to Sick Kids Charity, so make sure to get those super chats in. But super chats that I saw here over the last little while, Shane, this one comes in from Max Entius Decimus. Max says, fuck it, Stetcher is better than Riley. I said it, Max. The way he's playing right now, for sure. The other one here, Irish Can 2012. They still need to work on the puck in their own end, but the offense looks like they are finally clicking. Yeah, breakouts looked a lot better. Transition looked a lot better. The offensive zone looked great. There are a couple times where it's like, hey, let's tidy some things up and not give up so many shots, but it didn't feel tonight like it was like this crazy, brigade of chances by the Carolina Hurricanes tonight that just couldn't be put a stop be put to it. So it felt better in the defensive zone, but it can definitely be better, that's for sure. And then the other one comes in from Shane Brom. Zach, was Prague right about Domi? I'm gonna say no. He looked good tonight, but in terms of was he right about Domi, I don't necessarily think Prague was right about Domi, but let's get to the man himself. Prague, welcome to the After Dark show. How you doing here tonight, brother? Were you right about Domi? Is that how you feel after watching this game tonight?
No, that's a long-term something, That's long-term. I'm not going to take any credit for anything, but the thing is, imagine playing players on the same line in places where you would think they would succeed for 3 games in a row. Imagine that. Yeah. You would think they're professionals or like good at what they're doing. Like, honestly, Berube, first of all, I look forward to Stetcher's injury because he's playing 24 minutes a night. Look what happened. He was playing.
Why do you got to say that, man? Why do you have to say that? That's a crazy thing to say, Prague.
Dude, playing 8 out of 9 games, playing 16 out of or 15 out of 19 games. When you know the goalies have a injury history.
Well, you're talking about Stetcher. You said Stetcher. I look forward to Stetcher's injury, is what you said.
Look at what happened to JT. Is JT look like he himself when he was covering for everybody? JT he was burnt out. He was playing him 24. The first night that what's his face came back, Matthews, 24 and a half minutes. I think the offense is doing great. The defense is going to sink us. I'm sorry. I think we've done a lot better the last 3 games. I thought Florida was our best game in terms of speed, even if they're injured. I liked how fast we were and how we're breaking the pucks out. Tonight was a little bit lucky, to be honest. The Laughton goal was lucky.
Sure, yeah, that's lucky. I'm not going to disagree
and
with that.
the thing
but
is,
you're allowed to be lucky.
but like I've been saying, this is the deepest forward group we've had in over a decade. Honestly, we have 4 lines of centers. We haven't had that since. Was Bozak with here when JT was here? No, he was gone already. So it's basically probably our deepest center group. But and what did I say? Is Domi a center? No. He'll play center.
No, I agree with that. He's not a center. Yeah.
Like, how many players has Berube since his term here sunk in terms of how good they were to now? Domi went down by 15 points. Wad looked like shit when he was a Stanley Cup champion. Third line winger or third line center, he did everything. And he looked good. He has hands. He can pass. And yes, Joshua can't skate very fast, but he had hands and he's big. So my whole point is like, what did I say? I said, I'm waiting for the 5th or 6th game for Woll to be injured. I was wrong. It was the 8th game. My bad. Sorry, guys. You play him 8 games out of 9. What the fuck is wrong with you? Were you not the coach last year?
Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, yes, there was a decision to be made about who they were going to play. The other thing is, this is not just a Berube decision. I'm quite confident of that. It is a Joseph Woll. It is a medical team. It is a coaching. Like, it is an organizational decision.
I'm a fucking doctor. That medical team sucks if they're even involved.
Okay. My point is, they're in there every day. I'm not doubting your abilities at all, but
no, but I'm doubting theirs
every
because,
day.
like, honestly, the thing is, for like, unless the medical team is just trying to keep people out, but the thing is, they're injured. I personally think like Stolarz was injured the night Marchment fell on him, and that's probably why he like tanked afterwards. But also, our defense is shit. Like, Stetcher is now basically our number 1 D-man. We're filled with second pair D-men. Like,
they're missing
another team that has the worst
now.
D-man. Quinn Hughes. Vancouver has better D-men. Ronick. Like, name a team.
Okay,
Would you take Jacob Slavin over anyone?
Yes.
Take Sean Walker over all our right-handed D-men. He's the number 1 D-man on that team.
I mean, I would say when Tanev is healthy, no, I'm not taking him over Tanev.
When Tanev's healthy, he's 35 or 36
Okay, so
or whatever he is.
We saw how he played last year.
Dude, that's not the best he's played. He's played better when he was in Vancouver or in Calgary. He's older and he's injured, and we don't know when he's going to come back. But I don't think he's better than Jacob Slavin.
No, you just said it, Sean Walker.
Yes, but I'm saying
I said
Walker.
no, Slavin. Yeah, he's the best. You would be the best here. Sean Walker, I think I would take Tanev. If you're talking about
Sean Walker because he's younger. He's not as injury prone, and he can do same defensive work. But the thing is, just because of the injury history and the age. But the thing is, my point is, that's why I think we need to trade whoever we can. I don't think this team. Listen, it's great we make the playoffs. So then next year our other pick goes. Listen, if Boston doesn't choose our pick this year, next year it's unrestricted. And then the next year it's unrestricted to Philly. So my point is, I love how our forwards are playing. Has nothing to do with Berube or Savard. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Like, I was saying, put OEL or Domi on the top, or somebody who can not only carry the puck, who has a good possession numbers, and also can carry the puck, can shoot the puck, but also can pass a puck. I'm not saying Domi's the best. I don't think Domi is the best. But the thing is, for this team, where does he work? He has to work on a line with skilled players where he's a winger and he does passing. What is Matthews? I don't even know if that's Matthews. I think that's Auston Matthews. Whatever. He was like the third best player on that line. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong. He was not the third best player on that line tonight. He was probably the second best player on that line.
Dude, in what world? Like, I watch the games. I love Matthews. I have a Matthews shirt. Not a jersey, but the shirt. But like, the thing is, I have so much, like, I saw him for 3 or 4 years where he was dominant. This team is based on Matthews being one of the top 5 players in the world, or top 10 at least.
I mean, Prague, to be fair, I don't really understand what the team. Prague, I don't really understand what the argument is, because you said he was the third best player on the line. I said no, he wasn't. He was the second best, and you said
okay, so he's second best. Great. He's second.
Yes. No, but yes, Matthew Nyes had a great night tonight. I think that's fair for us to say. He had a great night. Matthews is the second best player on his line.
Dude, I'm just saying I'm happy that they're winning. I just don't believe.
But are you? You just said you wanted to get the pick.
Dude, I want to have winning teams for a long time. I want to have a chance to actually win.
Yes.
I like our forward group, and I love Laughton. But the thing is, if I have to choose between him and having long-term success for my favorite team, I'm choosing my favorite team, obviously. And then he's from Oakville. He's happy here. If he wants to sign, we can sign him again. He's 31, 32, whatever he is. He's great. He's doing great on the power play. He's got 2 goals. You know who has 5 goals? Alex Steves. Oh my God. On a team that's more wrecked than us. I'm saying I don't think Alex Steves.
Let's see what happens when we get to January then. Like, again, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're saying, look at Alex Steves. He's hot. He's got points. He's got goals right now.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't think he's as good as Laughton. But the thing is, when you don't give players chances, what happens? Trevor Moore. How many 31 goal scorers do we have on our team? We gave him up for Kyle Clifford and Jack Campbell. Brilliant. And we paid a couple picks too. Wonderful. When you don't play players. No, but I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying.
But they played him. They played Trevor Moore. Like, I don't think it's fair to say.
They played him.
Keep saying they don't play players. They don't play players. I don't think that's fair to say. Like they played Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore played in this lineup. They made a hockey decision and a hockey trade to get a goaltender to come here and a depth guy. We can argue about who they got until the sky fucking falls. I don't care. But the point is, like, they made a decision in that moment. Yes, maybe they got rid of a guy that could help them right now. Like, I'm not gonna disagree with that. It's just like, I disagree with you saying they don't play players. They don't play players. Like, I think everybody in Boston right now, like, this is where it's just like, I think people need to calm down. Like, people are looking at the way Montreal started the season and saying they're God's gift to hockey, and they're barely ahead of the Leafs right now in the standings. Like, they're
more injured than
4 points. Are they? Are they really? Because the Leafs were missing Anthony Stolarz, they were missing Joseph Woll to start the season. Then he came back, and then Anthony Stolarz was immediately gone. They're missing Tanev. They're missing Carlo. They were missing Matthews. They missed Nylander for games. They missed Nyes. Like, they were missing Nick Waugh. Like, they were injured too, Prague. Like, this is a stupid fucking argument. Who is it that you're looking at over there and saying they need that guy? Like, it's Doc. Like Kirby Doc is the guy you're looking at being like, holy shit, if they had Doc right now, they're winning games. My point is, is people can come back down after starting hot. Like, I don't think Morgan Geekie with Boston is going to score 50 goals every single fucking year of his career. He's having a great year right now, but a lot of guys in Boston are probably playing above their weight. And I think as the season goes on, things will start to dial down a little bit. It's not a knock on Boston, but it's just like, you're sitting here being like, Alex Steeves has 5 goals. Mitch Marner is paid $12 million, is on pace for 79 points, and also has 5 goals, Prague. So what's your point? Like, what's the point you're making here right now? Like, we're just harping on the same shit you do every time you call back in when you're like, we don't give guys a chance. We don't give guys a chance. We just watch an awesome game from this group, and the first thing you're doing when you call in here is like, let's trade Scott Laughton. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I'm looking at long term. I'm not looking for short term where we maybe make.
But what is long term? What is long term? Like, Auston Matthews is signed for this year and 2 more years after that. William Nylander, sure, he's signed for an extended period. John Tavares has a little bit of time left on this deal, but he's also old, Prague. So, like, if you're talking to me about trying to win like 5-10 years down the road, I think that's a stupid argument to be making here right now. Like, talking about next year, talking about winning next year, sure. I get the retool idea, and I understand that, and I'm not going to disagree with like that mindset, but like, they're not going out and trading for pieces right now, Prague. Like, they're letting this group figure itself out. They're letting this group see what they can do. And this game tonight is not luck. The game on Tuesday is not luck. The game on Saturday is not luck. Like, they started to play a lot better, started to play a lot more what they should be on, like they did last year that took them to the second round. Yeah, sure, there's a couple lucky plays in there. It happens. You have to be good to get lucky. You have to be lucky to get good. Yes, and they went to 7 against the Florida Panthers. Like, there was 2 shit games in there, but they went to 7 against the Panthers. Like, my point is, they won the Atlantic Division, they beat the Senators, and then they did a lot of the things that we look at and say those are things and qualities that a team that should have playoff success will do. I'm not saying they're doing that here. They're going to do that this year. I'm not saying that they're going to win, Prague, but the point is, you're looking at these last couple of games and at least being like, they're heading in the right direction, and they haven't gone out and acquired anybody. All it is guys coming back and being healthy and playing in the lineup, and you're here complaining about fucking Troy Stetcher playing too many minutes. Who cares? He's playing amazing right now. Fucking play the guy. Jake McCabe playing great right now with him. Play the guy. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? I think this is such a stupid argument, and I don't think you have a point. I think you're just continuing to go back to like, these guys, they don't play these guys. They don't play these guys. What the fuck?
Have we lost our backup? And why? Tell me. When we
didn't have anybody else to play. They're like the Woll one, sure. That one, okay, yeah. That one you could maybe pin and say he played too many games.
Like, 15 out of 18 games.
Okay, do we know that that's why? He has an upper body injury right now and sustained numerous like physical blows from guys in that period of time. That's a fluke thing, Prague. Like, that's like he had a fluky shit happen.
How many games has he played maximum?
Okay, do you want them to not play games? Do you want them in fucking bubble wrap?
You play them smart.
You have to play, guys. You have to play. Oh, smart. You want them to play the first period and take guys out? This is the stupidest fucking argument, man. Like, you're looking at revisionist history. Nobody in the world other than you, Prague, is saying Stolarz got hurt because he played too many games.
The split? Tell me, Mr. Smart Man.
You're hoping 50-50. You're hoping 50-50 when the two guys play.
I'm saying... You do. No, it was not going to be 50-50. It was going to be probably 2-1 or maybe 50-30. Why would that change?
Also, first of all, 50-30, what fucking math are you doing there? That's 80% of the games. We're talking about these two guys.
50 games and 30 games.
I'm talking about percentage, dummy. We're talking about 50% of the games for one guy, 50% of the games for the other guys. You're trying to switch back and forth between the two guys.
Dude,
we're switching back and forth between two guys.
Dude, so you play him for 2 games, let him have a game off. Play him for 2 games, game off. How hard is that fucking math? Even if we lose that other game. How hard is that fucking math? Tell me. You're the one who was yelling over my voice.
This is where this doesn't make sense. This is where this doesn't make sense, dude.
People who have an injury history so much. And I'm worried for Stetcher. I love Stetcher. But the fact that he's playing 24 minutes, I think that's amazing. I think he's been undersold his whole life, and I think it's awesome. And if we listen to Brad, well, he's not long, so let's just fucking not take him on a waiver. But he had to. Villeneuve.
You're making assumptions, Proc. You're making assumptions. You're saying
we don't know.
He didn't want to take Stetcher, but he had to take him.
Okay,
like
who's playing?
He picked him up. He picked him up. He's playing right now.
Who's playing his 20th game in a row and a 7th round pick?
I'd be who?
Second pair right hand D, Joel Nystrom. Nick Kishin, 4th round pick. Like every fucking team does this except for the Leafs. Name a Leaf who's a 7th round pick right now, who's played in the last 5 years.
What does it matter?
I can't name him.
What does it matter?
Engvall. He was
just because you're fucking so horny about prospects, like what does it matter?
Dude, we have prospects. We never use them. And then what fucking happens? Justin Brazo. Who knew? We don't give him a chance. He may not be a great player, but maybe he needs development. Mason Marchment. We traded him for what? Dennis Malgin?
Yeah,
brilliant
I agree.
plan.
Bad trade. I agree.
Why? We played him 10, 20, 30 games or 1.5 seasons, whatever it was. How? Like the thing is, I don't trust this management. I don't trust this coaching staff. It's my problem's not with you. It's my problem is, let's get big and tough and slow and stupid. Is Dakota Joshua unskilled? No. Is Waugh unskilled? No. They're both skilled players. They're not fast. Joshua especially is not fast, but he knows his role. He has good hands and tight.
So what are you talking about then? They did what you said.
People were saying, it's because they're big and heavy. No, it's not because they're big and fucking heavy. It's because they're big and heavy is just helps them. It's their skill and their attitude towards the game. I'd rather have 100 of them than 100 Marners, right? Because they put in effort. Yes, Joshua needs a kick in his ass half the time. But also, if you think about Joshua, his good years, he was playing with Connor Garland. Connor Garland would be a top right wing for any team. Actually, left wing, right wing, he plays both. He's right shot, but whatever. He's the but like my point is, I want a team that could go like even when Matthews retires or Nylander retires or JT retires, we always have teams that are competitive and actually compete for.
I think that's fantasy land though. That's not that's not reality. Like the Edmonton Oilers are not like building a team right now so that like the day Connor McDavid walks out the door, they can like win the next year. Like the point is you win with the guy now. You're looking at a guy who makes $13 million. You're looking at William Nylander and you're saying there's a window here with these guys that you're going to have to try to win now. You have to understand that with it, you're going to have to keep Cowans and Nyes and these guys that are there on this team right now, Ben Danford, who will probably come here soon, and not waste those guys away. I agree. Trading Minton, probably a mistake. Grabenkin, it is what it is.
Why would we do that?
You're just being
Cowans
an
a first round
right
pick.
Now.
Fucking Dubas. Oh my God, let's fucking get rid of him. Think about
True
it.
Living drafted him, but...
No, True Living drafted... Dude, he had 28 days on the job. True Living was the one who was deciding, let's choose Cowan. The team already had made the decision. He was not even allowed to be... he was not allowed because of Calgary to discuss drafting. Think about it, buddy. It was a whole year. He was hired May 31st, 2023. The draft was what, 27th or 28th?
Okay, smart guy. Let's go. What is your plan here? So what do you do? Because you have now simultaneously tried to build the team for this year while also trading guys away, while signing dude, getting rid of picks. You've got the plan. You've got the answers here. You've got the answers, smart guy. You've got the answers. You've got the answers. No. You've got the answers. Because even what we've pointed out, hey, no, that was actually under Tree Living's regime. Like he was here for that. You're like, Dubas was gone. Dubas was gone. Dubas was gone.
By the agreement.
Okay. Dubas was gone, so it's not a Dubas pick. So that's a stupid thing to say. It was his group that was in here. So it was his group that picked a guy. But no, you got to jump in.
Listen,
and also, when did I say trade Cowan? When did I say trade Cowan? When did I say trade Danford? I
No,
actually,
but I mean-
very specifically, 30 seconds before you jumped in like a fucking asshole, I specifically said you keep those guys for the future because you're going to build and develop with those guys and hope they can come through here. And you're the one who jumped in like a dick and just started saying, trade him, fuck him, trade him. That's not what I'm saying. The point is that you have young talent
you know
here with
what
the
Cowan
team,
is if you
young
didn't give
guys
him a
coming
chance?
through, these guys that are coming through, and you're giving them opportunities and they can play with the team and they can filter through. You're not going to waste those guys. The point is you're
What do
living
you
in
think
a
Robertson
fantasy
feels
land.
right now?
You're living in a fantasy land that when Auston Matthews and William Nylander retire from the game of hockey, the second they're gone, you just continue to go on and get the next superstars and you just filter through and roll through. And it's like we can't waste things trying to win with these guys while
How
they're
many
here
years in a
because you
row
got to
did
win after. Like
Detroit
that
go
doesn't
into the
happen. That's
playoffs?
not how hockey.
How many
like,
years in a
the
row did
NHL
Detroit go into a
works?
playoffs? Why can't
What?
we be aspirational towards that? We've been pretenders. We've been playoff pretenders for years. And the thing is, I'm saying, okay, here's what I'm saying. What did I say? Build up the value of the players you want to get rid of. Whether it's Domi, whether it's you were against Joshua, you were hating on
Build
Waugh,
up the
you were hating
value.
on all
Build
these
up
other
the
players.
value is
Fucking
insane.
who
No,
cares?
yeah, we were evaluating the way they were playing. It was fucking awful. They were playing terribly.
Well, listen,
they
you have
figured
to play
it out here
people
now.
on consistency. You play them in a spot to succeed, and you play them consistently. Would you put Waugh as our number one center or our number one left wing? No, obviously not. Would you put Matthews as our number?
No, unless
our
you're trying to get their value
D-man?
up, because you should play them 38 minutes a night so that everyone can see how good the guy is that's been in the league for 14 years. And yeah, maybe
Dude,
that'll
he keeps
change
getting
things.
rehired. He keeps getting rehired. He had a $5 million contract. What have you had?
What does
He
that
had 52
mean?
points in his rookie season, playing 14 minutes. You know he was number 2 on his team as Arizona Coyotes?
That's
Who was number 2?
embarrassing.
He was number 2.
I don't know. It's embarrassing.
Who was number 1?
I don't know, man.
He's our best D-man right now.
Okay,
He goes
great.
by 3 initials.
Oh,
OEL.
thank you. Yes, okay, I got that one, Mr. Context Clues.
Dude,
I got it.
Our team has gone through in a tank for the last year for a lot of our players. Yes. Wonder about that. But the thing is, I'm looking at long-term. Berube is a nice guy. Fine.
You just said the
He's
team
not-
went in a tank You said the team went in
No,
a tank
listen.
last year. They
Look
won
at-
the
look at-
Atlantic.
No, I'm saying look at how our players look at, like, from Domi, from Waugh to, like, look at all the players even this year. You want to tell me about going to game 7. It doesn't mean shit to me because we only played 2.5 games, but we're really good. Or maybe 3. Maybe.
Okay.
But, like,
Okay.
no, but the thing is, I'm not going to give a shit. Like, if you ruin, how many years has Matthews been in the league? 10 years. And how many times has he seen the Stanley Cup?
Dude,
Or seen
I'm not
a
saying
conference
this
final?
team is a team that you sit here and try to trade for
Dude,
and
who's
add
made the
to
conference
right
final?
now.
Carolina. Dallas.
Okay, great. Okay.
Dallas did it in the freaking 2020 playoffs. They had, what's his
Are
name?
we just
Anton
like
Dudeau.
listing? Are we just like listing things that happened?
No,
The Florida
I'm saying
Panthers won the cup
you
last year.
have
The
to-
Florida Panthers won the
No,
cup the year
I'm
before
trying to
that.
say, okay, so my
Like,
point
what are
is,
we doing? What is the
Okay.
point? What is your point?
Okay, my point is, if we get rid of Berube, I'll tell you right now, the whole team will do a lot better with whoever the fuck is the coach, particularly Boudreau, because it will help their attitude. But second, we have to get rid of the players that we have that are old or getting older or are in, like, expiring contracts, so that we can get other players, whether it's young players, whether it's whatever, and even take on contracts to take more players. I don't give a shit. We have $25 million next year, $20 million next year. Who cares? What are we going to spend it on? And you think Robertson's going to come back if he's playing fourth line minutes when he is? How did he do in the 10 games he played on the second line? 9 points.
He should be on the first line over Max Domi.
He should be on the second line. I personally think Cowan should be killing it in the AHL. Why?
Hey, you're an idiot.
Dude, I'm the idiot.
You
Okay,
just
fine.
you're going back and forth on your points. You're talking about giving guys opportunities,
Okay,
and then you're
let's-
like, "Here's a guy playing top 6 minutes
No,
who
no,
looks
okay.
really good in the top 6. Send him
Dude,
to the AHL."
No,
You're
no.
the one
Okay.
who's saying
No,
give guys
no.
opportunities,
Have you
and
heard
then
of
you're
Jacob
giving a
Willing?
guy
Have you heard
you're
about
giving
Bo
a guy
Brew?
an
Have you
opportunity.
heard
Okay, so
about-
why does
There's
that
so
guy
many
have to
players.
play and not
Dude,
Easton Cowan?
dude.
Why does that guy have to
I
play?
get people
Like,
that
what are you
do.
talking about?
dude.
Okay, so why
Jacob
would you
Quillen.
take
No.
Easton Cowan out of this
Let me
lineup
give you
so that you
examples.
could give Nick Robertson? No, you are
example.
making 0 sense, bro.
Okay,
You're making zero
listen,
sense. There's
close your
no
mouth and
point
let
to
me say
anything you
something.
said.
Let me say
You're
something.
wrapping
Let me say
everything
something.
around, making it all over the place right now.
Dude,
Like, it is just a
say
mess.
Can I say something?
Can
I say something? Okay. So, Cowan, has he played against men and shown he can do it
Yes.
for seasons or just 20 games?
It's his first year in the NHL, Prague. Like, what do you mean?
Okay. Jacob Quillen, undrafted. I'm giving you an example. What was he? He won multiple awards for the NCAA. He was playing against bigger players than he is. He's fast. He checks. Whatever he does. Last year, he had the Leaf rookie lead for points, right? And goals and whatever else. This year, he was leading it. I respect somebody who's put in the effort to come here. Robertson busted his ass. He came in too early at 18, yes. But he's busted his ass, and he's shown what he's done. What's so wrong with Cowan playing a year, killing it, having the confidence so he's not tearing, like today, he was tearing himself down on the freaking bench because he made a mistake. Do I want that? No. I want him to be confident as fuck. But the thing is, the players who are on the Leafs team, do any of them have a chance to get up? Why is Quillen not up? Why is Gruel, who also has like point per game
You're
or whatever he
talking
was?
about this is what makes no sense. You're talking about a first round pick who's playing awesome in the top 6, had one bad game here tonight, and you're talking about like this guy. You should replace him with Nick Robertson and Jacob.
There's a second round pick.
Here.
There's fourth round picks. We don't fucking know.
What
the thing
are
is,
you talking about? This is the worst argument you've ever made that I've ever heard on this channel in the history of fucking takes made on this channel.
If you can't play well with John
Prague,
Tavares,
this is the stupidest argument you have ever made. There is nothing logical to this about you coming here and telling me that Jacob Quillen should be playing in this lineup over Easton Cowan because he played in the AHL last year. And you're watching a guy who's playing in the NHL and looking good in the NHL, and you want to send him to the AHL just because other guys have been playing in the AHL. He's got confidence. He's playing with William Nylander and John Tavares. He's playing
7 million and 30 points.
He's playing with really good players, learning at the NHL level, experiencing. Yes,
does that make
that's the point? Why is that a problem? How is that a problem? In what world is that a problem?
Confident. I want him to be crushing.
How can you not be gaining confidence playing with these guys, getting the opportunities that you have, scoring goals, big goals, meaningful goals with these guys?
The self-talk.
Yes, you learn how to do that. He is a professional now, Prague. He needs to learn. You are putting him in a
Quillen
position.
Is not a professional. Robertson's not a professional.
Yo, we got it. You're done. The call's over. I can't do this. This is the most insane fucking argument that I've ever heard on this show.
3 primary points.
I can't fucking do this. This is the worst take I have ever heard in the history of this show. Is that you won't play Easton Cowan because you want to play Jacob Quillen? Like this is genuinely.
I want to give players the worst that they deserve.
This is so why would you take Easton Cowan out again? Like Prague. Like I don't know if you're coming on here just for the sake of doing this.
Why would you take Nyes off? This is
I agree. That's a bad call. That's a bad call. I agree. I also wouldn't have done that. But this is the worst argument in the history of this show.
Thing. So the thing is,
what do you mean?
Even
he's
if he
a
has
really
a
good
game,
player.
He's not going to sit. Even if he has he's not going to learn any accountability. Do you think the Leafs have any accountability?
He played 13 minutes tonight. Players? He played 13 minutes tonight.
He played 4 minutes in the first 2 periods. Why? Or whatever it was. He played 2 shifts in the second period or whatever it was. Why did they do that to Robertson? Why did they do that to Cowan? Yes, Cowan had a bad first period. But the thing is, and that's good, but the thing is, did he look like he looked okay afterwards? But why were they doing that to Robertson? Why were they doing it? Like Robertson's put his dues in, and then you disrespect him by putting, he got Laughton's first goal for him by digging deep last time. Did anyone show him respect?
Yes, we talked about it on the show. We talked about it on the guys talked about it on the Morning Take show.
But I'm saying, so good. But
so
who was given?
There's your answer.
But the thing is, if the Leafs are not showing that to their own players, do you think Robertson is going to be a happy camper?
So why would he? What does it matter? It's about winning, not about making guys happy. Easton Cowan is
because I want the guys
he's
to
better
resign.
player. He's better than. Why?
I want the guys to resign. I want guys to want to come here. Like, if you see players continually
think you're done.
kicked out,
I think
not
you're
getting
done.
a chance.
Name
a
talking about
non-first or second rounder that we've played for real, giving them actual minutes.
I don't know.
Exactly.
What does it matter? You traded picks away. Kyle Dubas
Alexis
traded picks away.
Lafreniere on LA Kings, 4th round pick. Wow, he got a chance.
Oh
my
God!
I'm
Easton
saying
Cowan
the whole point
is getting a
you
chance.
need to
You
regroup
have
because
like,
this season's lost. We're 1/3 of the season away. We've already.
You're like the high school
of
hockey coach that I had who got cut from his high school team for the AAA players. So then when he coached the team, he cut the AAA players so the AA kids could get a chance. You're like, you've got this vendetta against first-round picks. You're like, I don't want the first-round picks to play.
Dude,
Easton Cowan, you're a first-round pick. Get to the AHL. Give me the 7th rounders.
I wanted him over.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Dude, I've been a fan longer than you live.
Why would you not let these guys
be disagreeable? But the thing is,
I disagree. I think this is the worst argument you've ever come to this show with, is that you're talking about Easton Cowan shouldn't play so that Nick Robertson can play on the second line and Jacob Quillen can play on the fourth. Like, this is the worst argument you've ever had on the show.
Do we know what we have in Quillen? Do we have?
You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Like, I mean, you gotta go.
Okay,
there's
tell me
guys
about
that
how
sure
all
you
these
could come.
players suck. Let's get rid of Joshua, just like you said, and Waugh.
Okay, all right. That's probably the worst take and the worst call Prague has had here in the history of this show. That was unbelievably awful. All right, we got to wrap up the show here tonight. Let's get out of here with our grades of the game. Send in your grades in the chat. Hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel. I can't get over the fact that we were arguing that we weren't giving kids enough opportunity for this team. And then the kid who's getting an opportunity with this team should get sent to the AHL to give older players an opportunity. Am I out to lunch here, chat? Like, am I the only one who's also thinking that this is the most insane fucking argument in the history of arguments? Like, what are we talking about? How do you go from that to that? Like, send your grades in the chat. Let's see what everybody else has got. I want to know how everyone feels about this one here tonight. I want to know how you guys feel about this win. I think I'm going to give this one an A. I think I'm not giving this an A-. That was an A- the other night against Florida. I was close to an A, but I think I'm going with an A tonight. You know, again, the whole concept of playing a better team game, playing a checking game, playing hard on the forecheck, in the offensive zone with a possession game. It seems to be getting much better. They seem to be better at handling the puck, possessing the puck during the game. Again, like Money Puck here tonight shows a major advantage towards the Carolina Hurricanes. I think that that's a flawed situation with analytics where that does not necessarily show the outcome of the game. The Leafs have 24 shots on goal. Carolina has 32. It never felt to me tonight like Carolina was just absolutely kicking the shit out of the Leafs in this one. There were moments for Carolina that were really good, but it wasn't sustained. It looked like the Leafs were able to hold offensive zone timing, circle through one line into the next, kind of pin Carolina in, create opportunities. You saw just a dig deep effort mentality from the team here tonight. Auston Matthews finishes tonight's game with 5 shots on goal, 6 blocked shots. It was a buy-in from everybody, physically, emotionally, mentally, from top to bottom. The only negatives, one, the power play still fucking sucks. Gave up a few prime opportunities. I mean, you want to talk about expected goals that Carolina had. A couple of them definitely came off the Leafs power play. The second is that Joseph Woll gets injured tonight. Those are my 2 negatives, but otherwise, I'm going with an A. This is a quality win on the tail end of a road trip, a long road trip that is as well, but 5-1 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight over the Carolina Hurricanes. puts them at 29 points on the season. That is now tied with the Columbus Blue Jackets for 7th, 1 point back of the Ottawa Senators, the Detroit Red Wings, 2 points back of the Islanders and Penguins, a little bit behind the Rangers and the Devils. And then, I mean, you look up to the Atlantic, that is 2 points behind the Montreal Canadiens and 3 behind the Boston Bruins. That's all for the show here tonight. Thanks to everybody who watched, followed, liked, subscribed, turn on notifications, all that stuff. Thank you guys. As always, I will be back on Saturday for a game preview, a best bet, breaking down the lines, who we've got coming in, out, if there's any changes, as well as the goalie situation. And then we'll be on here after the game for another Leafs Nation After Dark to break everything down for game number 28. That's all for me tonight. A massive 5-1 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Carolina Hurricanes. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.